like they showed like the spinning hallway and everything.
Did they just shoot things in forward, like regular way, and then they just rewound it?
Yeah, but like the way that they're doing it is he has to learn how to fight backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's one clip where they show it and he's just like practicing and he's like doing all this stuff, and then he like pulls over, shoots twice, does a backflip, and then gets up, and it's all him. And they just trained him to do it, and he had to learn how to fight in reverse for the movie, because that was like the whole like preview thing was just like how he likes to do everything in camera.
Yeah,
he doesn't like to do CGI and stuff.
And I commend him for that.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I really can't wait.
You're going to Tinseltown?
Yeah, I'll let you know how you guys. I'll let you guys know how it is.
Yeah, give us that 10-minute ahead preview.
10-minute breakdown. I'll let you know how the opening scene is.
We'll call you back in 10 minutes.
All right. Yeah, Tinseltown, man. I gotta have them. I need that. The big old recliner seats.
Yeah, I got to get to Tinseltown. I was going to see Nightmare on Elm Street because they're showing it this week, but I can't say no to Unforgiven or Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inception on the big screen was great. It still holds up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We went in, and are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go in. Like I said, there were only 2 other people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really weird because they like did all this stuff precautionary for like their COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So we went in. Medina has just like a big curve of doors when you first walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of them had their door handles taken off, except for one door, which was opened and propped. Like, damn, they're taking this serious.
Ours
That's
were
pretty
open,
cool.
Yeah.
And so it's one door you can go into. We went up to concession. It's supposed to be like no contact.
Yeah.
It was all completely the same. Like they took
really?
my card, gave it back to me, scooped my popcorn, got me my drink. Like it was all super COVID unfriendly. And then we went over to the movie theater, and I was like, okay, why is the door closed? I got to grab like the handle. That defeats the purpose of you taking all the other handles off of the doors.
Yep.
Like they should be propped open. So I opened it up, washed my hands real quick. I went inside. There were a couple of like seats that had their armrests down. So I was like, they ain't disinfecting this shit. Like I just know like from experience, like it ain't happening. And
awesome sauce.
Yeah. So
I can tell mine's not for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we used to do like if we had like a district person come in, like a district rep, we would have every employee coming in 2 hours early to disinfect seats. That was with 10 theaters with like 20 employees.
Right.
And it took 2 hours. So you're going to tell me that you're going to have like 2 or 3 cleaners going in and disinfecting everything in a 15-minute window? Ain't happening.
No.
But anyways, that's not the important part. So we get into the theater, and this dude who's like probably like a little bit older than me, maybe Nick's age, maybe your age, I don't know, somewhere around there. He's older.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in with his mom. They're coming to see Inception. They come in, they sit down, they're talking super loud, whatever. He goes to leave. Me and Nick are just like sitting there talking. All of a sudden we hear her behind us, and she's just like, yes, hello? Yeah, I ordered a order from your place, and it was not correct, and I had an allergic reaction. So I just wanted to know, what is it that you're going to do about that?
Karen alert.
Right. So and she goes, yes, I had the chicken Asiago, but you gave me a spicy chicken Asiago, and anything with paprika, it could have put me in the hospital.
We can only hope.
And so Nick looks over at me and he's like, bro, that's my go-to order. He's like, you think she's going to eat it? So I'm like, dude, that bitch is going to eat the whole thing and then like shoot up an EpiPen. And so she's like, I just want to know that my name is going to be on a list so that I can come back and, get whatever.
Wow.
So I'm just sitting there and I'm just like dying laughing at this point.
Fuck you,
and
lady.
we're just being
I
ignorant.
can't.
And Nick leans over and he's like, bro, do you think that these people are going to talk during the movie?
Oh,
And I was like,
get the fuck out.
they might once. And he just starts
shut the fuck up.
dying laughing, bro. Oh, I will, dude.
I give one warning. I say, can you please be quiet? That's my nice warning. After that, it's shut the fuck up.
You don't get any nice warnings from me.
You're in a movie. You don't need a nice warning. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The best thing about the movie theater is that it's dark as fuck.
Nobody knows who it is.
They don't know who I am. I could be big as fuck over here in this seat. I remember one time we were sitting there at a movie. This dude kept on talking. And I lean up right behind him and I go, hey, you want to shut the fuck up? And he goes, and just sinks down into his seat. Dude didn't look around or nothing. Like, you're not going to turn around and challenge that person.
He got his black voice going.
Dude, it's
Hey, man, shut the fuck up.
Oh, but yeah, man, I got no fear in the movie theater.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
I've gotten mad at old women before for talking. I said, go to Starbucks. If you want to talk, go to Starbucks.
Yeah, mad at old women before. All right. Well, there's our little pre-show. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Ready for the real deal?
I guess.
All right, yo. All right, y'all. If you're a fan of the show and you tune in weekly or however often you tune in, make sure you're liking us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Made to Motivate Podcast. Subscribe and hit the bell on YouTube. That way you know when we upload new videos to that channel.
Ding, ding, ding.
And do what you can to share the page when we have new episodes. We appreciate all the support. And with that being said,
You know what time it is.
Podcast Tuesday!
Live from Made to Motivate.
Has a goddamn goal to
Podcast.
call his house on a Tuesday night? Damn it!
I need some sound effects buttons to click. Like when it's like hit the bell. Ding.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, Made to Motivate. Fuck me.
We're off to a great start.
Take two.
All right. Anyhow, where was I at? This is Made to Motivate Podcast, Season 2, Episode 32.
Wow.
51 overall episodes currently. We will be celebrating our 1-year anniversary next week. I don't know what we're doing for that yet. And I'm sure you've noticed that the 50th episode is not out yet because it's taking a long time to edit.
Is that bad?
It's a lot. Well, like,
Just finding stuff, I'm sure.
I'm putting
is-
it, like, I'm pulling clips, like,
Yeah.
when we reference certain things. So, like, when we talked about our guests, I put all those little intros for
Yeah.
them, and then we're saying, like, what's our favorite episode? I'm pulling a clip from that episode and inserting it in there.
Can get arduous.
It's taken a while because I have to go and find the episode, search for a spot that makes sense for what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's taken a while, but I want it to be good, and but I do want to get it done soon. I need to get it up. So,
What will get
anyhow.
done first? Episode 50 or your deck?
episode 50.
Oh, okay.
Episode 50.
So we won't be having a deck party for the 100th for the
Well,
1 year.
The deck is pretty well usable.
Yeah, I mean, we can go out there anyway.
The whole deck itself is fully secured and done. The one railing's done. The other railing has started.
Don't lay on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a usable spot.
That's perfect. Get an insurance check
Right.
from the 100th episode, or why do I keep saying 100th episode? 1 year.
I wish.
Someday.
Yeah, it's getting there. Today kind of went awry and that threw things off a little bit. So I plan on working on it today. I didn't get to, but we'll see. I got some time this week to get working on that. But anyways, host Ryan Weiss. I'm joined as always by Jesse Young from Sports Illustrated.
What's going on?
What up, sir? And Chris Film Freak Kessinger.
Hi.
I like your Birdie Shack shirt. Fuck that course, but I like the shirt.
Hey, you made it through that
I
course.
did make it through that course. Jesse didn't, but I did.
I didn't play there.
Yeah, because you didn't make it. Anyhow,
You made it further than I did, Jesse.
what's going on, gentlemen? What's new and exciting since our 50th episode? You're back to work. I feel like
I'm back.
you've all been kind of quieter than normal because everyone's like working and back to a normal routine.
Yeah, that text is not going off as much now.
Yeah. What's going on? Anything new since last week? Anything exciting?
It's just a shit show.
Yeah.
People have no.
Are
fucking
you
clue.
back? Like, so last week you were back, but no kids.
Right.
Kids have started back today.
Kids are starting to pick up their technology this week so that they can start their online schooling.
You won't have anybody in class
No.
until at all this year, or just for a certain
Until
period of time?
September 7th, unless they change their minds when
Which will probably
Jackson and North Canton and all those schools that are opening now get COVID.
Shut
tests.
down.
That'll
because of
update.
COVID.
Yeah.
Well,
that'll-
apparently there's a bunch of tests coming back from like extracurricular and sports and stuff.
There were 2 kids from McKinley on the football team that got COVID.
Yep.
And apparently that shit was not let out to be well known. People are pissed.
Yeah, dude, that's sketchy. So shit show at work. That's kind of how I feel too. Like work's just been crazy.
Yeah. I met with somebody today because we've just been like going over all of our like routines and everything. So like we're switching to a new door for our kids to come in because we're using different doors for different programs.
Right.
But the door that we got switched to, they like didn't replace the windows in it. They just put metal over it.
It's weird.
I don't know what happened to the old windows or if it was just like an update, but it's like this metal covering. And I was like, well, 2 problems with that. One, it's a safety issue. I'm opening a door to people that I don't know that are on
Mhm.
side with a school. I was like, and 2, like if a kid comes late, that door is far away from our classrooms. Nobody's going to hear them
So let
and
them
nobody's
in.
going to see them. So what are we going to do with kids that come in late? And they were like,
Yeah,
well, we haven't really thought about that.
obviously.
It's like Yeah, we're just like 2 weeks away.
I'm
Fuck
glad
me,
you're in
right?
charge.
So
Dude,
like I'm
that's-
going down there and I'm like, okay, so why don't we utilize 3 doors instead of 2 doors, and then we can split them up a little bit more and blah 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 blah. And they're like, that's a good idea. And I'm like, okay, so let's just do that. I want my old door back. And they were like, okay. And I was like, dope.
It just seems like a mess to me that all the districts are all on different plans. Like I know lots of people, kids started school today.
Yeah.
Full on back in school. And then there's some that aren't doing it at all. Some are partially doing it. Like that just seems like a clusterfuck. My little brother, his wife is a teacher, and they had one of her coworkers, one of the other teachers, came to work even though her husband tested positive for COVID and didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
So then they had to call like the health board, board of health or whatever, to find out like what to do.
get
Because
out.
they're getting ready to kids start, and
Yeah.
now she just fucking came to work and didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah. So like, if we
Thankfully,
get
she
sick-
didn't interact with. She wasn't around her.
Yeah.
But like one of the other teachers, whose husband is like very immunocompromised, was sitting with her like all day.
So if I get sick at all,
So ignorant.
like basic, because COVID symptoms are pretty much any sickness that
Right.
you would normally get. So if I get sick at all, sore throat, runny nose, diarrhea, fever,
Yep.
chills, anything like that,
Yep.
I am automatically out of school
For that
For-
day at least, right?
for 3 days
yeah.
after the symptoms cease. So
Yep.
if I'm sick for 2 days, I'm out that entire week. If somebody gets COVID and it's proven,
Yep.
and I interacted with them, I'm out for 10 days.
Yep.
And I'm required to get a test myself.
Yep.
And if I am sick, then I am out for the 10 days after the cease of symptoms, and I have to have the Canton City Health Department release me to go back to
work.
school.
That's how it is for me.
Sounds like a dare to me.
So yeah, right. So I have we have an app on our phone that we had to download. Daily health check. Every morning I have to go on. You have to take your temperature. It's part of the requirements, and then it asks you, "Are you planning on being at work today?" If you're calling off because you don't feel good, you don't have to complete it. If I'm planning on going to work today, I have to say yes. I plan on being there.
Oh.
And then it asks you, "Do you have any of these symptoms?" Then you either say, "No, I don't have any." Yes, I have some, but I don't fall under the extra categories, which is I'm caring for somebody that has COVID. I've been around somebody with COVID, whatever.
Right.
Or yes, I am having symptoms and I'm around somebody. So you have to say yes, whatever. You say no, you get a green check mark, go to work.
Yeah.
If you say yes to either of the other two, you get a stop sign and you can't go to work that day. You have to submit to HR that you got the stop sign. You have to get a COVID test. And then it's 14 days quarantine paid. But even if you get a test result back that comes back negative, they require you to get a second one because they're saying that the tests are faulty.
Yeah.
And if you want to come back before the 14-day quarantine is up, they require a second test. Otherwise, you just have to wait the 14 days.
Right.
And the problem with that kind of stuff, as well as the stuff we do at my job before we go in every day, is people lie.
Yeah, that's the thing too. On ours, it says, do you have any of these unexplained symptoms? And then the list of symptoms is, let me pull it up really quick. So it says unexplained. So basically what it's implying is, okay, so maybe you wake up and you've got a real bad headache, but you know you're out drinking the night before.
Right.
They would consider that an explained symptom. So you're going to say no to, I don't have any of these symptoms. If you went to bed feeling perfectly fine and you wake up nauseous and you have a fever, that they're going to consider unexplained, and you would say, yes, I have some of these symptoms.
Right.
See, but I cough all the time. Like,
That's the thing.
the
So,
air in my house is bad. Like, we actually
Right.
have mold downstairs.
so they would consider that an explained. If you
Yeah.
know that's common for you, or you know you've got real bad seasonal allergies and you sneeze and you cough and you have itchy eyes normally this time of year, they would consider that explained. That's the tough part, though, especially going into flu season.
Well, and that's the thing was they were talking about, they basically gave us that same out. Like if you have, I don't remember how they called it, but it was basically the same thing. If you can explain your symptoms. So like I was hungover on Monday, didn't feel very good, knew I was hungover. So
Right.
I went into work. Well,
Right.
that was the same day that they told us all these processes. So I was like, oh, I probably should have been out for 3 days knowing this, but whatever.
Yeah.
But we've got people who, like, we got a text from a teacher today who was like, yeah, I had a small fever. I was going to do a half day, but I just decided to stay home. And we're like, what the, like, no, you're supposed to be out for 3 days then.
Right.
Like, what
Right.
do you mean? Like, you have a fever? You should be gone. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean a half day?
Yeah.
And then there's like other people there that whatever. Like your beliefs shouldn't come into it. Your political stances should not come into it because there's people who
agree.
are literally sitting at the same desk facing each other with no mask. And they're like, well, we're around each other all the time.
Right.
And it's like, well, fuck off. Like,
Bro, so speaking of that, I got to bring this up real quick. I got to show this to you. So you know how like people have been posting pictures of the schools and they were putting up like the dividers, like restaurants and stuff have.
yeah. We have none of that, by the way. We don't have
No?
any signs or anything.
This girl that I know, her kids were back to school and she posted a picture of the desks. I'm not going to show it on here because there's a kid in it, but I'm going to show you guys. Look at how ridiculous this is. So this is the desk. Look at how much space there is between where the plexiglass ends and the end of
what
the
the
table.
fuck?
What's even the point of that? So if you got a kid sitting right here,
Yeah.
this is completely open.
Stupid.
That's just like, what was it? The restaurant ones we were talking about that one episode.
Yeah.
Like this makes no sense whatsoever. Like there's not enough to block.
We
this.
went to Dutch Valley restaurant. I don't know. It's an Amish country. I think it's called Dutch Valley. Today.
They're Dutchmen.
It's an Amish country.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called Dutch Valley. Anyhow, it's a buffet where you sit down and eat. They have the buffet still. They were doing the social distancing. They
The
had
buffets
stickers
are
and
still
stuff.
open?
So no plexiglass at any tables. They did have it where it was every other. Buffet was open, but they had a worker that would serve you. So you would walk through the line. They had to change their gloves after each person.
Wow.
And they would serve. You would pick what you want, and they served it for you. You couldn't handle anything yourself.
We have to do breakfast and lunch in our rooms this year. I was like,
Oh,
fuck.
God.
I was like, I don't want to do that.
You have to
Like,
serve them.
No, they get like, dude, we get,
Oh, they're just gonna,
we
like,
get
put food.
shitty little cellophane wrapped like steamed meals. They're
Yeah.
garbage, but like they're prepackaged into a little pouch.
Yeah.
We used to be able to send them out. And it was just grab your lunch and go because lunchtime is when our kids, we have half day schedules.
Right.
So they'd take them and leave. But now they're like, well, they can't eat them on the bus anymore because of COVID. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like,
Oh, they got fed before school? They ate it on the bus?
no, they would take the bag as they were leaving school.
Yeah.
And then they'd snack on it on the bus on the way home.
I got
like,
you. I got you. Okay.
It's terrible.
It's just a mess, man. Like, I don't know. I've got friends that are like, I've got coworkers that have just decided to pull their kids. They chose to do it at home, even though they could go.
Yeah.
One of Ashley's friends decided not even to just pull. She's just doing full on homeschool at this point.
Yeah,
She's like, if I'm
yeah.
going to teach at home anyways, like she's just going to do homeschooling.
Seems to be in the majority.
So she's not even doing school. I don't know how homeschooling works. Like, I'm sure there's a curriculum and stuff, but she's
There
just,
is.
at this point, like doing her own. It's just a mess.
I have to do everything digital this year.
Mhm.
We're not doing any paper pencil, which
kinda
is
nice
fine
for
because
you,
it
I
makes
feel
it,
like.
well, it's a pain in the ass for converting it all. But then once it's all done, it's a lot easier to grade and stuff.
So how do they? It's like if you do a test, you have to like create just a digital test.
I do it
and
on
then just
Google
send it to you?
Forms. Yeah. So what I did was because we had to use like a tool because they're all about like getting different resources and
Uh-huh.
shit because it's like buzzwords and whatever, all that great stuff. And one of them was a Bitmoji classroom, like your little dude on Snapchat.
Yeah, I've seen people making their Bitmoji classrooms.
Yeah, so mine's dope.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like sports shit in there. You got a picture of
Yeah.
it?
I can show it to you.
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like.
But it's like I made like 5 different rooms. So like the first one is like a dude, like it's me, not a dude, but it's me.
Dude dressed as a dude playing you as another
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. There's
another dude.
there's like a recliner, and then I've got like I don't even know like what else in there. There's a bunch of shit in there, but like it's got like Jesse's man cave and like a GIF that I made that's
Yeah.
like neon.
Is it a GIF or a GIF?
It's a GIF. 'Cause it's a graphic.
It's not peanut
Whatever.
butter.
But so you like there's like a little stack of books. If you click on it, I have an entire library of like books that I put in there like in PDF form that I like
Yeah.
rip. So like I've got Harry Potter in there, I've got Calvin
That's
and
dope.
Hobbes, I've got Audible books in there. You can click on a little like PlayStation next to the TV. It'll take you to my game room where you can like if you're done with all your work, you can click on the billiards table. It takes you to like a pool game and like shit
Wow.
like that.
That's dope.
And then I've got like I think I called it like a recreation station or something where like it's like me listening to music, me cooking, and me writing because those are like my 3 hobbies.
Yeah.
And then when you click on them, like I'll have like a song of the day, or I'll have like I don't know what I'm even gonna do with that. That's the only one that's not done yet. But And then I've got my actual classroom where there's like a little bulletin board with 3 Post-its, and like the first one's vocab, the second one's a journal, and then the third one's the
So they can
assignment.
like click on them and it opens up
and
different
it
stuff.
opens up Google
That's pretty-
Classroom.
that's
so
actually
it's
kind of
all-
dope.
It's fucking dope. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're doing all this gay shit over here while we're actually working."
Wow.
Hey, I didn't say it. They did.
The thoughts and comments of Jesse Young do not reflect the Made to Motivate podcast in any way.
But yeah, everybody's hating on me because they're like, "Oh, you're over here fucking around with this little cartoon, like whatever." And then I showed it to them.
Like, that's
Guess who's all doing fucking Bitmoji classrooms now? You fucks.
Yeah, that's dope. I think it would be cool, man.
It's
Like make it go all out.
it's either
and
that or
design
it's
it.
they just sign on to Google Classrooms and they see a list of things to do and they're gonna be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, at least it's like interactive and kind of keeps them engaged.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm so glad I'm not a kid during this time.
Dude, it's got to.
I had the worst
man.
attention deficit, and this shit would not work for me.
Yeah, I don't learn. That was like even like in college, like they would do like the home stuff, like open book at home. Like I need to be in class, listening to the professor presenting. That's just how I learned. Like I needed to be present. I wasn't self-taught. I just wasn't engaged enough. I'm sure if I took the time I would, but I would just get distracted. If I wasn't in class being forced to do it, I didn't want to do it.
It's weird how that changes because I used to be the same way. Like I could read. I always liked reading like the stories for entertainment, but once it got into like the theme and like that type of stuff, it would really throw me off.
Yeah.
And I'd have to go back and reread it and try to figure out what these words mean and blah blah blah. And now it's like all of my knowledge comes from reading. Like I don't want to hear you lecture. I don't want to do any of that. I want to read it myself, figure it out myself. Like I don't know what that is, but I cannot be taught. Like if I'm building something like that, like if you wanted to teach me how to do that, I'd have to do it.
Yeah, hands-on for sure. I'm
But
a hands-on
like,
learner.
But outside of that, like if it's information, gotta read it myself. I read my own laws. I read my own like everything, all that shit, technical documents, like all that crap. It's the only way I can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Christopher. That was like a 30-minute throwback to Jesse's week.
Yeah. For a second there, I didn't know what you were asking.
What's new and exciting with you?
Well, nothing much. The tournament is coming to an end.
Yeah.
It's we have one more round left, and we're down to 2, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a fun tournament, and yeah, our boy Ryan here didn't make it. I was gonna leave it to him to tell it, but Ryan shot his ass off. He really did.
I played good
For 3/4 of that game. That spot was yours,
bro. I was beating Brad.
Yeah,
I was number 1 the whole game, bro.
I went back and looked at it. It was like 6 holes into that second game. You took the lead, like you were in first at that.
Well,
point.
I was in first the beginning of the second game. Yeah, so going into the second game, or no, maybe it was 6 holes.
It was 6 holes in, yeah, because Brad.
Because you
won
told
the
me
first
when we
game.
got to the one that had the messed up ramp.
Yeah,
that's when we did the score, and I was 1 point ahead of him.
Yeah, so you took the lead, and then you had it until that 14th hole. And that was the one where everything went, like, not only did Brad pass you, but Norm passed you too.
What'd you get on that 14th hole?
6, I think, right?
Yeah.
Did I get a 6?
6, and Norm
See,
took a
here's
1.
the thing, and no excuse. I thought I was real far ahead, and I wasn't focused on that hole. I was like, let's just get through it and move on. I didn't realize how fucked that was going to make
So
me.
what hole, like what is the hole? The 14th hole was.
So it wasn't even that hard. That's the thing. Well,
Yeah.
but even Brad got a 6, I think. Me and Brad both just fucking shat the bed.
Yeah.
It's a straight hole. Though all the holes on this course are real long and straight for the most
Okay.
part, but there's some random obstacles. So this was a really straight hole. And then it was so it went straight and then it boxed out.
Okay.
And you could shoot straight down and get right in. Norm got a hole in 1.
Yep.
But as you started to get towards the hole, it closed in and it was like a waves.
Okay.
So it was like
So if you're not
lumps.
perfectly
So
straight,
if you
you're
didn't
getting
get
all
right in
shaky.
the middle and you hit too far, you're going over a hill and you're in the backside now.
Okay.
So that's what happened to me. I overshot it a little bit and ended on the backside of the hole.
And you were
And now are
crooked.
you downhill?
I was
from the hole?
crooked. So yeah, so there's like a hill in front of me.
Okay.
So it's flat ground, a wave, and then the hole, and I'm on an angle. So now I got to try and like figure out the angle to get it over the hill and make it bank to go in. So I hit it, and then I end up on the other side of the hole, on the other side of the hill.
Mhm.
So now I got to come back again, and I fucking go to the wrong way, bro. I had 5 hole-in-ones. I played amazing. I didn't shoot over a 3, I don't think, for the most part. Maybe a 4 here or there, but like
Yeah.
I played good. Fucking shat the bed on this hole. I was like, for sure thing, I'm going. Like, I'm in. I can't believe it. And then I got a hole-in-one on 18, which never happens.
Yeah, I've only seen it one other time in history.
One other time in 12 years,
Yeah.
a hole-in-one on this hole, and I fucking get it.
I've never.
What
done
did
it.
you lose by? 1?
3.
3 he was out of
strokes.
second. Yeah.
Because it was so, and the problem
84,
was
86, 89.
at that point in the game was so late, I couldn't make up any strokes.
Right.
Me and Norm shot hole for hole at that point, so there was no coming back. He would have had to have really fucked up.
Yeah. That sucks.
Dude, I was so pissed.
I know.
And the worst part was knowing I had to play the last 3 holes, knowing I couldn't come back at this point.
I was texting you all that bullshit, and I was
so
I was
pissed.
waiting for Ryan to text you like he thinks everything's a fucking joke.
Oh no, because that's different. It's not serious. Like it's mini golf. But I mean, I was just pissed just because it was like I played so good.
Well, and what I think is funny about the whole thing, and this is for both of you too, is like at the beginning of the tournament, you know, you guys were talking. I remember there was an episode we were on here, and you said like, I just want to get to the second round. I know I'm going to get killed by those other guys. I'm like, well, you learn that you could fucking compete with anybody, and you were just like a couple strokes out from qualifying for the third round. So now I hope your confidence is a lot different than it was then.
Yeah. I've always been a big mini golf fan. Like I had, which is why I really wanted to get into it. I've always loved mini golf. Like I think it's so fun.
Mhm.
But I mean, I was nervous to the point of obviously like these dudes, like I played Brad and Norm in my very first game.
That's true. That's kind of
You know,
funny
and
that game happened.
So I knew the caliber I was going to play against, and then knowing that I had to play them to get into the finals, I'm like, fuck.
Brad's tough. He's on a roll right now. I got to say, like,
Dude,
between those two,
Brad's going to take it, I think.
Brad was my pre-tournament pick.
Yeah.
And I'd have to stick with it. He's playing tough.
Norm plays good. They both play good, but Brad just gets on a streak, man.
And he's
And he's
hungry. He lost by 1
very-
stroke last year.
Very mellow.
Mhm.
He doesn't show emotion. He just plays, and like, it was fun. I'm disappointed because I was so close to the finals, and I had it all game until 4 holes from the end.
Yeah.
I blow
Wheels
it.
came off on 14.
Bro, sucked. But anyhow, so yeah, mini golf ended. What else? Anything new?
Went back to the theater this past weekend. Had 3 new reviews up at thefilmfreak.com. And yeah, we'll talk about that experience a little bit later.
Absolutely. Cool.
What about you?
Not much. Mini golf. I mean, that was the disappointment of my weekend.
You lost something today.
I was going to
didn't
say
you?
it wasn't just mini golf that you lost.
Oh yeah, Grayson. I lost Grayson to the
No.
hospital, and
I mean, that's terrible, but that's not
Grayson
it.
is Grayson's got a big belly right now. He's feeling a little bloated. Mini golf. I got a lot done on the deck. Deck's looking good.
That's super. You
Yeah.
lost something else today.
I don't think I lost anything today.
Why shave your head if you're not going to show anybody?
I didn't shave anything. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you guys want to start with? What do you want to start the show
Let's
with?
start with you taking your hat off.
Locker room talk.
We can start with locker room.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Here.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. I know Jesse's looking for it in the messenger. I need to like remove it real quick.
If you
Did I send you a picture of it?
if you fund the show, you'll get unlimited pictures sent to you of Ryan's head.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't send a picture, thankfully. I thought I did, and Jesse was going to try and go in there and show it off. Locker room or Main to Motivate?
Locker room's good.
Locker room
Locker
talk?
room.
All right, y'all. Let's get into locker room talk
Locker room.
with our favorite president.
Swung on, line to deep left field. It is gone! 45, 40. Run, William, run! 20, 15. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the
LeBron James.
This is locker room talk.
What are they, 2-1 right now?
Yeah.
Lakers?
Yeah.
Tonight's
Playing
game
tonight.
4.
Playing in
Like now.
30 minutes.
At 9?
9,
I thought
yeah.
it was 8:30.
Last one was.
It's been a tough series, man. I feel like,
Yeah.
They slaughtered them last
yeah,
one.
they did play good yesterday. What's going on in locker room talk, Jesse?
Dude.
Jesse Unk,
So,
Mr. Unk.
I mean, where do we even start?
Let's start with bitch ass white boy.
Okay.
Just go right into it.
So,
Is that his introduction?
the
Yeah,
NBA.
Jesse.
yeah,
bitch
that's
ass
me.
white boy. Let's get this started. What are we
So-
talking about?
So the NBA obviously has been taking their racial equality very seriously. with-
Have they?
They have. We still don't know what's going to happen with this, if anything. But in the last
How
game,
serious they are. then.
Clippers versus the Mavs, Montrezl Harrell called Luka Doncic a bitch ass white boy after scoring on him, or I think
Something.
he scored something. I didn't watch the game because it's not LeBron and I don't care about the Clippers. But
Nobody watches the Mavericks.
Dude's got talent.
Oh,
man.
totally.
apparently, and I didn't see the game. I just saw multiple
Clips
reports.
of it,
But
yeah.
so saw the clip of him saying it. Apparently, Luka had said "you people" prior to that and that's what led to the whole
Yeah.
excursion.
I didn't have any clips or anything of that.
No
Witnesses.
So it's kind of like up in the air. People are talking. I mean, you've got some people on the one side who are going, well, you're talking about all this racial equality, and this guy says bitch ass white boy.
Yeah.
That's fucking hypocritical. He needs suspended. And there's other people on the other side who are saying, you know, that's nowhere near
the same thing.
like the same thing. It's not even a slur.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. It's just basketball talk and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he should have been suspended for a game, not necessarily because I think it's
Just on principle.
I think it's just not a good look for the NBA. I think you have to protect your assets
I
is
agree.
what it is, because you've gotten to the point where half of the country essentially is pissed about the NBA. They got Black Lives Matter on the court.
Yeah.
They've got all this social justice reform on the jerseys. Very outspoken players, like the shooting last night, which we'll get to later. Like tons of players have already come out about that. It just kind of seems like you can't let that slide to me.
Right.
And I get that it's not the same. It's not near, like, I got in a conversation. I'm in a sports group on Facebook, and I'm literally like,
The only bitch ass white boy.
I'm the only bitch ass white boy in there.
That's a screen name.
And,
Should be.
and it was pretty divided. Like,
That
and
needs
I
to
was
be your new Twitter handle.
bitch ass white boy.
Bitch ass white boy.
NSI.
SI.
But it was pretty split.
See how offensive it is to us?
Right, exactly. And that was the point. And like, so they were all on there, and they basically said the same thing that I did. Like half of them were like, you know, you can't go for this if we want to be taken seriously, like we can't let this shit slide. And the other half was like, no, like black people don't have any power in terms of like the use of these words, where a white person, you know, they're better off in life. They don't have these issues that we do when they use the N-word against us or something else. Like that holds power over us, where you could call somebody a cracker and there's no power in that.
Yeah.
Like there's not really anything that you can call us that's going to be like, oh shit.
We talked about that on here. One of the episodes, we said like, as a white person, what could really be said to us that would like really offend us, you know? And sadly, I mean, and it's true. Like I'm not, granted, it might be just because we're not easily offended, but we also weren't held back. You know, we weren't oppressed and stuff, and like had derogatory words made about.
There's
us,
nothing
so.
that goes toward that word, and you know what word I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Like, there's
Not even
nothing
close.
like all the hatred, all the racism, all the systematic, you know,
Call me cracker,
prejudice.
call me whatever. It doesn't compare to that.
Yeah, there's nothing that can measure to that.
And that's something that I've talked about in the past too, is like, even when you get into like, because we've got like, there's racist names for specific groups of white people.
Right.
Like you've got,
White
you know,
trash,
honkies,
wiggers. And
I mean, even outside of that, like specific to, like once you get into like freaking, I don't even know, like what do you call an Italian person or something? It's like a wop or something like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like even when you get into that type of shit, or like a Mick for like an Irish person.
Yeah.
That doesn't even really hold much weight, you know? Like that's not even something that somebody could
Dago.
call and you'd be like,
I've been
whatever.
called what have I been called as an Italian? Dago or greasy? Yeah, wop. Dago, wop.
I've heard Dago Wop before.
Dago, I've been called Dago before. Again, like,
and it's like, whatever.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And so like you get into all of that crap, like it just doesn't hold the same weight. And so
like you got to think about it. Like we just said all those and we didn't think twice about it.
Right.
I would never say the other word.
That's a good point.
You know, like we're not worried like someone's going to come on and be like, what the fuck, man? Like post that online and like destroy our lives over it.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah, even in reference to it, we said the N-word and then, you know, whatever. But so that was like the argument. We went back and forth and everything. And there's a guy on there named Randy who I always argue with. And like,
fucking Randy.
Randy's okay, but Randy's, you know, whatever. We get heated arguments on there. And so he went live because he was like, no, like all you dudes are fucking Uncle Ruckus motherfuckers. Like right now, like he was calling them out hardcore. He basically went on there and said like, you know, they made this word to keep us down, like blah, 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 blah. He was like, no disrespect to Jesse, but like, you got to just sit out of this one. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, you can't compare it. It's not a comparison. Like they don't deserve shit, especially a suspension in the playoffs. And so me and him talked a little bit and I was like, you know, I respect that. I'm not saying that I think it's equally bad. I just think when you have a league trying to make a statement and be progressive, you're going to turn a lot of people against that movement if something doesn't happen, if they make a big deal out of this.
Yeah,
and I don't have Sports Center and all that because we don't pay for cable, so I didn't watch like any of the shows to see if it did get picked up like nationally and blown up or if it was just kind of like circulating the internet. But
it's been here and there.
And so they did go up to each other the game after and apologize to each other. Like everything was fine. So I don't know. I mean, I thought that if it was true that Luka said "you people," I thought they both should have got a game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it looks like nothing's going to happen because, I mean, it would have happened by now. It would have been quick and swift action. So I don't know. I thought it was an interesting case.
So I agree to your point of, to me, it's not offensive.
Yeah.
Granted, who knows if Luka was offended by it, but in itself, it doesn't hold the same weight as the other derogatory word, or
Not
even
even
"you
close.
people," which might have happened and had him retaliate what he said. But with the NBA taking this stance that they're taking and allowing the players to have, race related groups and backings and stuff on their jersey, like they're taking a big stance this year. And if they're really pushing that we're not allowing anything, like we're not going to allow race related behavior or remarks to happen, then I feel like something's got to happen. I mean, I don't think it's offensive. Like I wouldn't be offended by it, but it also is like, is it a catch-22 at that point?
Yeah.
Like so you can say racial things to white people and it doesn't matter. But if you say something racial to a black person, then you're in trouble, or then it's not okay. Regardless if we find it offensive in itself, I think as the organization as a whole, they have to just be careful in the stance they take.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, to Jesse's point, it kind of undermines what they're trying to do. So I don't know what the right thing is, because I mean, I really don't think it's super offensive, but
Yeah.
Where do they draw the line, and what if it was reversed? Now we heard he said "you people," but if he were to say like the N-word or something,
Not even that extreme. Let's just keep it. If
Something in line.
Let's say on the next play he goes down and just shoots it right in his face, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, bitch ass black boy." It
Yeah,
just says it
okay,
coming
that's
back.
fair.
Yeah.
Do we know what the NBA stance is on that technically?
I would think
Like, what is it, like a 1-game suspension or something?
I would think it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that prevalently
happens.
happens.
So I think that it needs to be the same across the board. Then I think they have to make it fair that it's, if there's anything racially charged, if he just called him "okay, bitch boy" or something, okay,
Right.
whatever.
So here's my question. Steve Francis, who used to be a guard for the Rockets, used to do this all the time. A lot of players used to talk about Steve Francis. He would call them the N-word. Now, Steve Francis is black. He's a black man. Is that okay? Would you say, by your rules, a black man calling another black man
I don't
derogatory?
think I have the ability to justify that, but from what I've read,
Mhm.
with an R or an A,
From what I've
because
heard,
the A is prevalent.
players
in the
used to get
NBA.
pissed at him, so I'm guessing it was the hard R.
but so
Okay.
from what and just from seeing arguments online, especially with like all the George Floyd stuff and things being talked about with that word, I've seen lots of African Americans say like, it don't matter if we say it to each other,
Mhm.
but you as a white person can't.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I would imagine that in the NBA's eyes, that should fall under it's race related
I think,
regardless.
yeah, everything's bad.
Like that shouldn't. Here's my thing.
It has to be everything or nothing.
Again, my just opinion, and I will never. I don't get it. I'm not going to try and understand it, but I don't understand using that word against yourself either.
Mhm.
If it is really that offensive, as a black man, I wouldn't want to call another black man that either. So that's something I never really understood. It's a whole nother topic to discuss at a later time if we want to get into it. But in the terms of what we're discussing now, I would think that would fall under the same limitations, and it should account for a suspension if that's what they're doing with racial related things. If it's like a 1-game suspension, then 1-game suspension.
I think that's one of those things where you just don't want to have that fight.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do use it as a term of endearment or brotherhood, or
Well, it's
just
when
like
it's with an A, right?
It's like us saying, It's just like us
so
saying,
I'm talking
dude, or something.
ER.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so the NFL a few years ago they made it a rule where you would get I think it was a 5-yard penalty if they heard you use the N-word.
Yeah.
Not once has that ever been thrown.
If
a
it's
flag for.
if it's with an A, then I have heard that. It's like, bro, dude, whatever. But the ER, I think that takes on a whole nother level.
100%.
And that,
regardless of who's saying it.
yeah, that I think should just not be a word.
And to
Like, it shouldn't
Jesse's
be-
credit, the worst thing you want to do is create a double standard, because it adds fuel
Right.
to the fire for those groups that go, see, it's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for me to do it. So in my opinion, you have to nip all sides in
I
the bud.
agree.
Like it has to be all or nothing.
That's where I'm at with it. And I know people aren't going to agree with that. People aren't agreeing with that, especially this late in the season. And I don't know how much weight this guy holds as far as
It's enough. I mean, he's
being a good
he's a-
player, but
yeah. he's not Luka Doncic, but he's.
I think that's something like it's completely off kilter, a different topic, but even like in the justice system, there needs to be a flat line. Like, okay, if you use race related in the NBA, it's 1 game suspension no matter what. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian. That's what we're doing, you know. And in justice system, I've always struggled with that. With, you know, one person go out and kill someone and get 5 years, and somebody else goes out and kills person, does the exact same thing, gets life. You know, like I hate that.
Yeah,
it needs to be streamlined so that there's no saying, oh, well, he got more because he was black, or he got less because he was whatever.
Right.
It's the same for everybody. We're not going to tolerate it. If you do it, this is what you're getting, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just, it shouldn't. Obviously, there's case by case things that might come into account, but you know, I don't know. That's a big thing rolling around right now. We'll see if anything comes of it. That was, 2 days ago?
I would assume nothing's going to come from it because
I think it was Saturday.
Yeah. Probably would have happened by now.
So you don't think he's going to get suspended?
No, they won't.
They already played a game after it too, so it's
So I guess they're going to.
Because that's when they apologized. So they would have been done by now.
I'd like to see a stance from the NBA about it. Just see what they're gonna, if they've addressed it or if they're going to address it.
I just think the next guy that does it, though, it kind of now he goes, well, you didn't do it in this case, so why am I getting punished for it?
It's going to set an issue. They're not going to be able to withstand it. You know, if a white guy goes and says it to a black guy now, to your point, maybe not the N word because that's completely different.
He just says black guy,
bitch ass black dude or something like that, and they suspend him. That's open up a whole can of worms.
And we've said it before when we talked about racism and stuff. Is like you don't got to go around dropping N-bombs to be racist.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
some people aren't going to put themselves out that they know they're going to not going to cross a certain line.
You can toe the line.
Yes.
I mean, you don't got to use. You don't even have to say derogatory things. You know, you don't need any of those slurs or anything, and you can still be a racist.
Oh yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I don't know, but
it's a tough line. I we'll see what happens of it. But they put themselves in a hard spot if they pass this one up and something else comes up and they want to withhold it.
I agree.
Speaking of putting yourself in a hard spot, switching over to the football.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
No.
Getting stuck under the table looking for the remote or something.
So the NFL fucked up big time.
Oh?
77 players tested positive for COVID-19.
Wait, the NBA fucked up?
NFL.
I mean, the NFL fucked up?
Well, the NFL sent out the test to a lab in New Jersey, and the lab fucked up. Had 77 false positive tests from 11 separate teams. It was 2 of which were the Browns and the Steelers. The Bears, I believe, were involved. The Bills, Eagles, and some others.
It's not the first time that Big Ben's been accused of something he didn't do.
Right? Oh, no, he did it.
Jesse was like, yeah, I know. Wait, what?
No.
I heard all 77 players wanted to meet Trump.
They just
Jesus.
Right. I don't know what they're going to do about this shit because
that's a big. How do you have 77 tests come back wrong?
Well, so they sent them in. Obviously, something happened that tainted the results, whether it was the vials that went to them initially or something in the process of testing them. They found out within a day. They took the precautions, anyways, completely disinfected all of the facilities, the Browns at least. I don't know about the other 6 teams. And they, called off practice that day and came back on Sunday.
Jeez, man.
But the issue is, let's say this happens. It happened on a Sunday. Let's say that that happens during the season.
Yep.
Like what? Are you going to bench those 11 players from your team?
I just don't understand how the test, that's to my point earlier, what I was saying about going back to work at my work, where they'll make you take a second one if you want to come back because they're having too many, they don't trust the system.
So right now, what
That's
they
a problem.
use,
That's scary.
Yeah.
Right now they use the nasal test, which is apparently 99% effective.
That's
and
the
it's
Q-tip thing.
The Q-tip thing. They're considering going over to the saliva test because it's nearly instant.
We're doing that Wednesday, I guess.
Do you know what the percentage of accuracy is?
I don't, but I did hear that it's quicker than the nasal.
You get it back quicker, result-wise?
The nasal is a 2 or 3 day turnaround.
Yeah, minimum, yeah.
I think that's for normal people because the NFL was getting them the next day.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
still, saliva is take it, and
getting
then
them back
10
the next
minutes
day
later,
was
you're
doing them
good.
a lot of good because they're coming back wrong. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You get into the playoff implications of shit. If you send out a test and it shows that you're positive, and Patrick Mahomes is getting ready to play in the AFC Championship to go to another Super Bowl,
they're gonna, like you said though, they're gonna start lying.
They're gonna be hey Pat, you're good. Switch out this vial with your backup over here.
Yeah.
and they're going to just shoo him in there.
Switch it out with Baker Mayfield. I don't need him anyways.
That's a side I wasn't even thinking about too. As far as teams, cheating to gain an advantage, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about, as far as if they get a false positive, do they sit him out? I would think, of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
I would think they'd have to.
They're not sending out a Patrick Mahomes. They're gonna fucking find a way around giving out the test results.
Especially if you're in the playoffs.
Because HIPAA, they're not allowed to tell results. So.
Oh, the NFL's getting those results. That's in their contracts. There ain't no way. Hell yeah.
It puts a lot of players in danger if you're not.
The NFL's the one.
So those results going directly to the NFL, or are they going to the teams?
No, those are going to the NFL. They're like piss tests, bro.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
And it's like, so if say it's he comes back positive for it on a Friday, they bench him Friday, and then on Monday we find out it was a false.
That's they're going to let him play the game again.
That's but you have to sit him just as a precaution.
And that's the thing
the season, man.
They've been talking about, like Bruce Arians said, we're going to have a guy sitting in the wings, like completely isolated, ready to go if we need him. But there's no protection for it. Yeah. You get a star player that goes down, you're screwed. Now, I'll give it to the NFL.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's been saying that they need a bubble and they need all this stuff. And aside from these false positives, they've actually done very well since training camp in terms of COVID stuff. I think there have only been like 5 or 6 total, and those already had carried over a little bit. Yeah. So
when's the season starts? Next week?
No, it's
September.
First week of September.
It's the first week of September.
Yeah, next week.
Nah, bro. It's
the 6th?
It's 2 weeks.
It's right after Labor Day, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 6th is the Sunday before Labor Day.
Yeah.
So the 13th.
That sounds right.
It might be the Thursday before that. It's like the 9th or something.
We would be going into the 4th preseason game this coming weekend.
So the 10th then probably. It's Thursday night's going to be opening night.
Yeah, I think so.
It's coming quick.
Coming quick. We'll see what happens. We got a ton of injuries and shit that's going on.
I don't know, dude.
Lots of leg injuries, man.
It's been a rough year, man. So we got false COVID tests. What else? Cleveland had some
COVID
shit happen.
Screwing up tailgating in Cleveland.
Yeah.
There's no tailgating allowed. You cannot be parked within a city lot 2 hours prior to the game at all. Not even allowed into it.
Damn.
And then
money lost.
So you can't even get to the games 2 hours. But
yeah. Well, 2 hours prior to the game, you're not allowed to be in a lot anywhere. So I guess if you went up there, you could tailgate early in the morning or something, but there was some other stipulation to it. Like tailgating's not happening.
Yeah.
So the Muni lot,
fucked, man.
All of those lots, man. Like we tailgate up past the FBI building down there. It's like right next door. I don't know what that lot's called, but
that sucks.
All those people that own that, they're not making any money, and they make all of their money off of sports, especially the Muni lot. Nobody's filling that parking lot any other time. They live off of Sundays.
People are still going to have to park somewhere, but they're not going to be tailgating.
They don't have to park anywhere because we don't know if we're going to have fans yet.
I wonder what the game turnout's going to be.
There's no way.
Most places are doing 20%, so it's 13,000 people.
Here's my thing.
You can park 13,000.
If you're not going to allow people to be at the game, obviously, it wouldn't make sense to allow them to tailgate.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
For sure.
No tailgating probably realistically makes sense.
Yeah.
Those people are fucking acting a fool in that parking lot. Like, come on.
It's fun.
I'm sure it is.
Sharing beers and throwing footballs, and
it's probably not ideal right now.
Playing cornhole and sharing off the grill.
And the money they lost, because what is it, like $20 to get in there or something?
Easily.
That's probably on the low end.
I mean, they lost a
Muni
lot.
lot might be more. We don't park in the Muni lot.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably on the
low end. It might be like 50. Some of those lots for like the Cavs games and stuff, I've seen as high as $150 to park.
Jesus, let's go pull in a park or something.
Dude, I'm saying, like, I wish I owned a parking lot in Cleveland.
Me too.
Big
parking decks, man.
They clean up.
Then you just hire a cleaning company to clean it up afterwards, right?
Right.
Do like 2 hours of work.
Street sweepers.
Yeah.
Baseball's going on. What's going on? Does baseball have fans?
No fans in baseball. Yeah. Baseball didn't have many fans to begin with, but
yeah.
I don't like baseball.
I'm not a big fan either.
Basketball's got no fans either. NFL split. Some places are saying none. Some people are saying 20%. Some people are saying we'll see how it looks after 2-3 weeks.
Nothing.
So as of right now,
it's
no players in Brown Stadium. I mean, no fans.
Yeah, no fans. everything's been sent back. Season tickets and all that stuff has been.
So then if they
refunded.
decide to allow fans, it's just going to be free for all. Like whoever just buys tickets.
Yeah, they're not going to allow fans though. They've already said they're done for the season.
I'm sure.
I got a refund for my Bengals Cowboys ticket in December.
Yeah.
So yeah, they already sent that to me.
Yeah, you were looking forward to that too.
But some of them are still like, yeah, we're going to do our best. Like I think the Jaguars of all teams said that. I'm like, dude, you guys can't get 13,000 fans without the fucking shit.
Wow.
No, that's true. That's 100%.
Jaguars have like the worst attendance.
Florida
Chargers are pretty bad too.
Florida does not need to be having people. They're bad enough.
Luckily for them,
Yeah.
Florida is terrible for fan turnout for all sports.
Yeah,
They got the beaches in Miami and shit. Like they don't care about sports.
that's what I'm saying, man.
We're going to Disney World.
I'll be
Fuck
at
that
Disney.
game.
Yeah, so I'll be at Disney,
But
which I really want to go to. Apparently, it's been dead. And like they're set up real good for like cleaning and stuff. I have some friends that
if
went
anybody's
there
going to
and
do it
said
right.
it's like no weights. So we got so Cleveland's fucked this year. Amount of money that they're losing downtown, man.
Yeah. First LeBron leaves and then this happens to your season. Because football, even when we're bad, we
They
pack.
fill the stadium.
Yeah.
They fill the stadium.
Past couple years,
And
it's
then,
been a
like, they
little bit
spent
worse.
All that
but
money on the new arena, the Rocket Mortgage
Yeah,
Stadium.
that's true.
Field House, whatever it's called.
I went there for Tool. Yeah, they really upped it.
Have you been there since they updated it?
Not inside.
It's
I've
really
looked
nice.
on the outside of it. It's beautiful.
They've got that upper deck bar now that
Yeah.
looks out over the court.
I just love
so
the glass,
legit.
like fucking shell. It looks
Yeah.
dope. It looks real dope. That's brutal, man. It's
Yeah.
real brutal. So Cleveland's got no tailgating. You had something happen with Earl Thomas, right?
Earl Thomas got cut by the Ravens.
Ouch.
Yeah. You always love to see your rivals cut their big time defensive star.
Yeah, I like it.
Chris
I like
wants
it for the
him.
Steelers.
I don't know why.
He's wanted to be a Cowboy for like
He has.
5 years now. And like there was that game in 2017 between the Seahawks and the Cowboys when he played for
Come
Seattle.
get me.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
runs
yeah.
up to Jason Garrett, our coach at the time, and says, "Come get me."
Sounds like
Yeah.
Odell Beckham.
Well, so this is the issue. He was a problem in Seattle.
Sure.
I thought he was doing fine in Baltimore. Apparently, he's always late to meetings. He's always causing problems. Like, this was not just like a
Because he doesn't want to be
Incident.
there.
Has anybody picked him up?
Not
No.
yet. But Dallas is the
Do you think
favorite.
the Cowboys are going to look together?
They're the favorite according to a Bleacher Report.
Yeah, that was my first thought as soon as he went because of that. I thought they'd get somebody to trade for him, but nobody did. So
Well, Cowboys offered one to Seattle right after the 17 season, and
Yeah.
they turned it down. And then they tried to get him in free agency, but then I think the Ravens offered more or something.
yeah, I don't know for sure, but they're saying that he might not get paid because of a clause in his contract for conduct detrimental to the team. He might get waived with no money,
Ooh.
which would suck for them.
yeah,
but
that's rough.
that dude's still a top talent at
Yeah.
free safety in the league, still a ball hawk, probably the
Yeah.
best ball hawking safety. And the Ravens just lost him.
I'm glad. Steelers need all the help they
I
can
love
get.
it, man. I love it.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
the Ravens, man.
Fuck the Ravens.
I know Jesse loves.
Fuck Lamar Jackson's
Yeah, there it
noodle
is.
arm.
I was waiting for him to really say what he was really feeling.
MVP.
Nothing to do with the Ravens, just Lamar Jackson.
It's all right. Can't wait. Can't wait. Sign me up, baby. Can't wait.
Jeez.
Art Scott, baby. Can't wait.
Come to Dallas, Earl. Come to Dallas.
All right. Locker room talk. Anything else exciting happening? Your boy
No.
Baker getting his ass in shape, fatty over there.
Dude's playing good.
Is he?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips. He's throwing bombs, dimes, man.
What about Odell and
Odell's been playing. I mean,
get his shit together?
every single year, people always say stuff about training camp, and then every single
Well,
year, you never know what's going to happen.
I don't care about
So,
training camp. I'm just curious, like attitude wise, if he's been.
Odell's never
yapping
been a
it up or
problem.
anything.
He hasn't done any of that since he's been in Cleveland. Like he
Yeah.
carries that reputation, but he has not come out and said anything that was against the team. He hasn't said anything other than I want to work hard, I want to win, I want to be here for my team. Like he has not been ignorant in Cleveland whatsoever.
Cool. Well, we'll see what happens if we have a season or not.
We'll have a season. It's too close to cancel now.
We in locker room still? UFC fight.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
watch UFC fight? Stipe?
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Have
Yeah.
we not done this since then?
No.
That was this past weekend.
Because
right?
we did,
fuck.
it was last weekend, but we had that show, the like anniversary show or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
we just
so we
talked
just
about
talked about
the show.
old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stipe fight.
yeah, I'm kind of
I was
with Ryan
disappointed.
on this. Yeah, like the fight to me wasn't that exciting,
Mm-mm.
but going into it, I didn't think it was going to be the fight of the night anyway. I
Yeah.
thought Stipe was going to take him the distance, and I thought Stipe was going to wear him down slowly but
Yeah,
surely.
for sure.
And that's exactly what happened.
It happened.
He
the way
didn't get
ex-
taken down at all. That was the thing. You could just stay up.
Yeah. I was when when I see a belt fight, especially a heavyweight fight, I'm watching for a knockout.
Yeah.
I want a knockout.
All
They
that
had
meat.
some good hits
They
throughout.
did. It was decent. That eye poke fucked him, man.
Both of
He
them.
poked me in the eye.
Dude, we did talk
Captain
about
Insano
it, I think.
shows no mercy.
We
I
mentioned
think
it.
we briefly talked about, but that eye poke, man.
Yeah.
And
now
I mean, I'm glad he won again.
Fuck DC.
Yeah, I'm not a big DC fan. And Stipe's a good dude, but
Did you hear they set up against him next?
who?
Francis Ngannou for the rematch is possibly going to happen.
I like it.
Ngannou can hit too, and
Yeah, I like it.
You know, he the first time they said Ngannou went in that he wasn't prepared because he fought on 8 weeks' notice and he was 10 pounds overweight, but Stipe let him go anyway.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be an interesting fight this time.
I'll take that.
Stipe almost knocked him out. It was like the third or fourth round where he caught him stumbling a couple of times,
Yeah.
but
I just don't like
just
when it
couldn't
goes
finish it
all
off.
five. I don't like when it comes to a decision, especially a belt fight, because they're not going to give it. You're very rarely going to lose.
you got to
a
knock
decision
him
when
out
you're
or
champion
beat the shit out of him to
lose the belt in a decision.
That's what they say. Don't leave it in the judge's hands.
Yeah. Yep. So I was a little disappointed in that fight. I'm glad Stipe continued to carry the belt, but
I thought he was going to retire. I thought they both were.
DC?
No, Stipe and DC. I mean, DC
Yeah,
did,
DC's
but
done. You thought Stipe was going to retire?
I thought he'd go out riding in the sunset, man. I
His
mean,
fights left on his contract.
Yeah.
you're the best of all time. Like, you're done.
Most offenses.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy,
You're-
man.
You're finished. Like, you done.
It's so weird to think too, because like nothing against him. He's not that big of a dude, and he like doesn't come off as being like that great of a fighter to me. I don't know. It seems weird.
Well, he
Like it
doesn't-
seems like he's just not your standard, which I think is why Dana White and him don't really like each other, or he doesn't like Stipe. Is he's not your typical UFC fighter.
Well,
He's not flashy.
Yeah.
He's not very marketable. They don't try to market him either,
Yeah.
though.
And this isn't against Stipe at all, but before Stipe, the heavyweight division in the UFC is arguably a joke.
Yeah.
So like the biggest heavyweight fighters that you could say before Stipe was Junior Dos Santos, maybe Brock Lesnar,
yeah.
you know, like a couple guys here and there. The best heavyweights were actually outside of the UFC.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
when you're talking about
Most of the good fighters are in your light heavyweights and lower. Like you're not
Yeah.
like the heavyweight class. There's not much going on there. I
Yeah.
prefer watching the Conor McGregors, and
I do too.
they're quicker. There's a lot more action. Going.
Hungrier.
Like the fights this past Saturday.
They're more
2 days ago.
versatile,
Did you watch
too.
this?
Frankie Edgar's, yeah.
Dude, that fight was outstanding.
I debated if he lost that fight. man,
Yes.
because I was like, oh
Dude,
no.
they were throwing down, and that's
Haymakers.
that's what I want to watch. Those dudes were ruthless. So that's entertaining to me. I was like that, and then that one Rose chick.
Oh yeah.
I love watching that girl fight.
Thug Rose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So anyhow, I didn't remember if we talked about that last week, but I'm glad he won.
We should bring up too your little video that you sent to us about Dana White when he was talking about Oscar De La Hoya at the press conference.
Oh yeah, dude. He hates him,
He
man.
despises him.
Cocaine's expensive. I don't know what to say.
He had and no like completely straight face too, like
Yeah.
no sarcasm or nothing, just
Yeah.
straight up like.
And I watched the whole video back, like the whole press conference, just to see if he mentions it again, brings it
Yeah.
out of context or something. Like the audience is quiet, like the people that ask him, everybody's quiet about that. It's the straightest answer possible.
Dude, it was fantastic.
It's wild, man.
Dude, he ain't got no shame.
There's good interviews about him on ESPN about Oscar De La Hoya like 3 years ago. Oh my
Yeah.
God, go on YouTube and look it up. It's great.
Yeah, dude. He's not a fan. All right. Well, let's get into Hollywood Report.
Okay.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Two teams assemble!
Boom, 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 boom. Hollywood Report brought to you by Chris, the film freak Kessinger. I got to update your banner. What are you up to review-wise now?
1542.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think
overall.
I think I put like 1520 plus or something.
Over 1530 plus.
Is that what I put on
Yeah.
there? Yeah. So
Which, it's not a lie.
still fitting. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're over 1530.
Yeah.
Lots of reviews. So we got a couple things. Let's start with the theater experience.
Okay.
And then we'll get into the releases and stuff. Because you and Jesse both visited a theater post-COVID or current COVID, but post-opening because of COVID, whatever, recently. We're all going to be seeing Tenet in theater next week.
Monday.
Super
Next Monday.
pumped.
Super, super pumped for that. So you guys both visited. You've both been once. You've been 3 times.
Yeah, 3. Tomorrow will be
Jesse
4.
was once.
Just once.
Chris has been there 3 times. What was it like? Where'd you guys go? Which theaters?
I went to the Regal in Medina.
Oh, That's weird. The one on Route 18, Fairlawn?
No, Medina.
It's
Like way
about
out there in
Oh,
Medina.
shit. Oh, is that the only place that they were playing what you were seeing?
Mhm.
Okay. Which one? If you go to all the same one?
No, two of them were the Regal on Arlington Road, like Interstate 18, and
Yeah.
then the other one was Hudson on Sunday.
Okay. What was it like? Was it similar for both of you? What was your experience like, Jesse?
It was dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like dead. There
can
were only
agree with
like
that.
6 people
What
in the entire
day,
theater.
time?
We went on a Tuesday night, I think is what it was. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't a Tuesday night. It
Thursday.
was
Thursday. Because I went Thursday and you guys went the same night.
Should've asked
Okay,
Jesse
yeah,
anything that requires
Thursday.
him to bring
Right,
or
I don't
something.
fucking know.
It was Thursday.
So
They
yeah,
went to a late
Thursday
showing.
night.
So it wasn't a weekend night or anything.
No, but Thursdays usually are a little bit more busy because of new movies.
Okay.
But I don't know if they had a lot of new movies there. They had a lot of like older stuff and like Inception and stuff was playing. So
Yeah.
I don't really know. But there were only 4 people in my theater. They took all the door handles off of the entryway doors, propped one door open. I already went over this on the intro, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't know how much of it's going to stick, though.
Okay.
So we can just quickly go through it.
Okay. So they just had one door that was propped open. They weren't supposed to have any contacted concessions that said online, but everything was completely the same. Got my popcorn, got my drink, took my card. Girl didn't have any gloves on. Printed off my ticket there and handed it to me. So not great. And then the door to the theater was closed, so we had to open it up to like prop it open to get in.
So what handles did they take off?
Like the entryway to the theater
Yeah.
only had one door entryway in, but like
gotcha.
it kind of defeats the purpose if you're
They
gonna
actually like remove the door handles?
the door handles are not there. Like you can't even grab it anything
so
to open
extra.
it. Right. But that was my thing. I was like, well, damn, they're taking this serious. Like they've got the stickers on the ground, they got the door handles off, like there's no box office. But it defeats the purpose if you're going to have contact concession and then make me open up the auditorium door where every other fucking person going in there is going to open it up.
Right. Did you guys wear the mask the whole time?
I wore it the vast majority of the time. I
Jesse
took it up
wore
to
it the
eat.
entire time he was there from start to finish.
I wore it like 80% of the time. Like I did have it on. Like Nick took his off about halfway through, and I kind of went back and forth between having it on and not. Because at first I was eating, and then I was like, it's just me and Nick, and the other people are way behind us. So it's just like, I don't know.
For sure.
But in a
Feel
packed house, I would have wore it the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So overall,
No
good
walkthroughs either. That
experience.
was a weird thing. that I
Nobody
thought.
checking.
Not a single person checked, which is against policy. Just like without COVID, like you could
What do
get.
you mean?
You know, they do walkthroughs with like the light. They're supposed to check for sound and air and like all that stuff.
Oh, I thought they just did that beforehand.
No, they do.
Oh, yeah, they come during the movies.
I know.
Recent
I don't know
ones.
about Cinemark, but Regal, you're required to do it 2 times for every single movie show.
Oh, guys walking in, you're saying.
Walking in with the flashlight.
I didn't get that at all for
Yeah,
any of
I'm
my
sure
3
they
movies.
eliminated it due to COVID.
I don't know though, man, because you're supposed to be checking people for masks, and they don't
Yeah.
interact with people. They just walk down to the exit and then walk back.
But
They
how
don't
well
go
can you
through.
see though in the theater?
Oh, you can see really well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if someone had a mask on or
the
not.
the light of that
Theater
of the like movie
Screen.
itself,
is
you can
enough?
see everything. Like I caught a guy one time without a shirt on, and he was like, "It's really hot in here." I'm like, "Dude, put your fucking shirt on, or you gotta go."
That's awkward.
these nipples to free.
He was seeing Saw.
Dude, I gotta tell a quick. I gotta tell a story about that actually in a minute. Once Chris tells us how his experience was.
Oh,
This is
jeez.
super weird. This is
You're going to pause audience expectation for that? Tell us your story.
okay. Fine. So, dude, 13 Ghosts. Remember
Oh,
13
yeah.
Ghosts came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So, me and my girlfriend at the time, I was in high school when that came out. We used to go to Giant Eagle and buy our tickets because they were discounted.
Oh, my
Right.
God. I remember that.
Yeah, people still do that. The red and blue ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They still do that? You can still buy them discounted?
they did whenever I was still there.
Yeah, so we always would go to Giant Eagle and buy them. Now, I don't remember. I mean, it was a long time ago. But anyways, apparently I got the tickets and I didn't pay. I don't know how it's possible because they gave me the tickets.
Right.
So we went to Giant Eagle, got the tickets, went to the theater, and movie's going. I think it was like to the point where it was almost over, a good ways in. The cops come in, and they walk right up to me and take me out.
What?
And they're like, "Do you have a receipt for those tickets?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I got them at Giant Eagle, but yeah." And I'm like looking for it, and I guess I must have not have paid somehow, which I don't know. Like she gave them to me, and I left.
Did Giant Eagle call
Yeah.
them?
But I don't know. But here's my point to what I was saying to Jesse is like, one, I don't know how they freaking walked in right and found me, and two, how they like know.
Because that's not assigned seating.
I
back
mean,
in
I
that
was
day.
It was the theater where.
Did you have your beard?
No,
Were you tatted up?
no. I was in high school, man.
Yeah, that's
This
weird.
it was a theater that it was the Regal in Montrose. That's when we always used to go
Fairlawn.
to. So you had 2 aisles. So it was seats, aisle, seats, aisle.
Yeah.
We were
5 or
the
6.
second aisle over, all the way up, the very last row. And I'm talking, they walked and came right up that aisle to me and took me out. And I'm like, how'd they know where I was that quickly?
Well, weren't you kind of like, were you still like Hot Topic-y and like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they identify. I'm sure they were like, yeah, he
They
looks
probably
like
came
this,
in and
but-
said, hey, where's this, punk rock looking dude?
Yeah.
He had Giant Eagle tickets, and they would have been like, oh, he's in theater 6.
Do you think they would have known that? Like, just remembered that?
Dude, we had
such a lot of
I had a
trouble,
group of kids
man.
one time.
Dude, it was wild. I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like so sketched out because I had no idea I did anything wrong. I'm like, what do these cops want me for? Like, what did I do? I was like, what the fuck?
You're going
My
to jail,
girlfriend's
kid.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. You can
dude,
see
it
shit
was so awkward.
way
man.
easier
It
than
was
you think.
awful.
I had a bunch of kids one time that bought tickets for like Finding Dory or some like
They
Disney
went to a
Pixar
different
thing.
movie.
It was like 40 minutes past the starting time. So immediately I know, like, okay, you're going to see whatever
Like a rated
scary
R movie.
movie
Used
we
to do that
had.
all the time.
And
Yeah.
they think I'm dumb. So I was just like, okay. So I go walking out and they look back and see me and I'm like, hey, don't go in that movie. And they just like bolt. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you think you're going to lose me? Like,
Right.
I know where you're going. So I walk in and they had split up, 2 to the very front, 2 to the very back. And then the 3 that were left were like in the middle. They were the hardest ones to find. But I'm
Yeah.
like, you, get out. Didn't give
Yeah.
them any refund or anything.
Good.
Technically, you're supposed to.
Well, hey, you just told them not to go and they did it anyway.
Fun
fuck 'em.
fact.
Fuck those kids.
Did that for private parts so many times.
Fun fact for any of you
Private parts,
listeners,
bro.
if you want to sneak into a movie theater, you get caught, they have to give you a refund. So
That's good to know.
get a refund because
We used
they
to
are
do it all
legally
the time.
obligated.
At Regal and Montrose, we would sneak in the doors that have no handles.
The
door
side
right.
doors.
One person would go in, they'd
Yep.
come prop it open, and we would sneak in.
Those ones are
Yeah.
easy too. The way to
We
do
used
it,
all the time.
because my thing was just don't think that I'm stupid.
Yeah,
Like I'm not
for
fucking
sure.
stupid. If you're slick, I let it go.
Yeah.
One time, this one kid came in, bought tickets, and I turned a corner, just happened to be going the same way as him,
Yeah.
and he let all of his buddies, like 4 guys, sneaking through the back fire exit,
Nice.
and I was like, all right, you can stay. And I just walked away.
Yeah.
See, that's stupid. You go to the movie you bought the ticket for first. You wait about 10 minutes,
Then
then
you
you
sneak
go to the
out.
movie you want to go to.
Yeah.
We did that once or twice. Like, I think to get around the age requirement, like we might have bought tickets to a different movie and snuck in, but we would also go from one movie, watch it, and then go to another movie after.
That's
and watch
what
it.
we would do that too.
Yeah, we
Yep.
were.
That's
dicks.
the easiest thing we get away with.
Do you remember the AMC that was in Fairlawn?
Yes,
That was like in that plaza.
I almost brought that up when you guys were talking about Montrose being popular.
Yeah.
I was going to say to Jesse, I'm like, the AMC for me was better
We used to
than.
kick it at that
Yeah,
theater.
that was
man.
Where was
theater.
that at? Like up past,
That
like
was
behind
West
A-Walk?
Point
behind Red
Market.
Lobster. You
Where
know where Red Lobster is?
West Side Market.
Yeah. It was on the very end. I think it's a Five Below now.
Huh. I'd have to go.
It was like
I have to
it
go
was
back. I
weird
have
because
no idea.
it was in a plaza building, so it was like attached to like a shopping plaza, and it was
Right.
like the very
Like
end
where Old
one.
Navy and stuff is now?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah,
right
close
But
about
behind it, right?
It's right next to where A-Walk is. Like
Yeah, on the backside of A-Walk.
yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
I know where
A-Walk's
you're
in
at.
the
That's what
front,
I
and then
thought.
there's the
That's,
plaza
yeah.
exit. It was behind A-Walk on the very end there. I think it's
Gotcha.
a Five Below now.
Huh.
That was an AMC. That theater was dope.
Yes.
I loved going there.
I went to Nothing to Lose there. I loved that theater.
Yeah, dude.
My favorite
You know, some
Kicking
of
a
our
kid out
movie theater
thing.
experiences we've talked about before on here.
AMC.
That
Ew.
theater, that theater specifically, man.
And that's why it's out of business. Health code
Yeah.
I
violations.
sat on your
Shut them down. Jeez.
Yeah, I was just to echo what Jesse, a lot of what Jesse said. I went to 3 movies this week and it had a total of 4 people between those 3 movies in there with me. The busiest one was the first one, and that had 2 other people in there. I was watching the whole time, so I was in the back row for all 3 of my movies. I made sure I bought my tickets in advance. With the Regal Unlimited, it's only a quarter each time you buy a ticket
So
in
like
advance.
Cinemark and stuff. Oh yeah, because I just did it for Tenet. You can buy seats now. Remember they weren't allowing you to reserve.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can reserve now.
Cinemark's is better. I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But so I made sure I was in the back for everything because I want to watch these people to see if they keep their masks on the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I studied all 4 people in all 3 different movies just to check it out. The 2 in the first movie were respectable. They did it. But then the other 2 in the other 2 screenings, nope. They took them off. It was one was like a half hour in. The other lady did it about an hour in,
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, good. I'm glad you're sitting all the way over there.
So I feel like a Tenet I'm going to just because it's. I mean, when I was buying tickets, it's a lot of sold seats.
Seems like it's going to be busy.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. So I'm not trying to put myself at risk. And then obviously the other people there, it's what they're asking. do what I need to do. I don't want to fuck it up and them close theaters down. It's like if I got to wear my hat, I'm wear my mask.
I agree. And here's why Cinemark's is better with the seating plan. Regals, so you buy a seat, they only have about 13 to 15 seats available in each theater anyway.
Yeah.
So it's limited to begin with. But what I don't like about it is the chart is, so every seat that's available is in a row from like front to back. So like the ones that are in the middle are blocked out, but you have the aisle seats. All of those are still on. And I'm like, so I can have some idiot behind me still coughing on me and hacking on me and all that. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But Cinemark, you buy a ticket and it's 2 seats each direction, front, side, back, side.
Once you pick your ticket,
blocked off.
The algorithm does it.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, because I was doing it because I picked 4 seats and I like picked one, then it created a blank, but then it let me pick that one since I wanted it, and you could see it knocking out the seats as I was clicking the ones I was going to take.
And you could pick any seat, like no seats
anywhere you want.
If it's a new theater, like nobody's sold a ticket yet,
pick wherever you want,
any seat you want, and then the next seats are blocked off.
And the best seat in the house just fucks it all up because as soon as you take that centered seat,
which is me,
it ruins everything for like everybody else being able to get anything decent.
I had to pick like. Well, I always am like upper rows. I like being in the back, but I try and be center. I had to be like second row from the back and a little bit to the right because of that. But it's still good. I was still happy.
We're seeing Tenet in a theater. Like
that's all I care about, bro.
Yeah, as long as I'm not in the very front.
Are you guys seeing XD?
Yeah.
Can't wait, man. The sound is gonna be so dope.
Yeah. I'm just glad that we get to see it. Like I didn't think this day would come.
I know,
to be
man.
honest.
I'm really pumped. I didn't think it was gonna come this quick.
We were in a small theater at Inception. Like just the volume, I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like it's a lot
so
louder than I remembered.
Man.
Like
I've only been to Medina once.
What's the last movie I saw in the theater?
Not great.
I don't even remember the last movie I saw in the theater.
Quick little Medina story.
Okay.
Fuck Medina. Whenever I worked at Regal as a floor employee.
Oh yeah, they fucked you with the popcorn, right?
With the butter machine, man. Took the butter machine all the way out there.
Well, and then they fuck you with the Harry Potter?
That was the same night. They needed the butter machine for Harry Potter.
I remember
and I was like, I'll do it as long as you let me and my buddy come and see it for midnight showing. And they were like, yeah, cool. So I drive all the way out, 45 minutes to Medina to drop off this butter machine. And they were like, oh, we don't have a seat. And I just given them the butter machine. I would have been like, I don't got a fucking butter machine then, bitch. Like,
you should have taken it back,
dude, I was pissed. Fuck Medina. Fuck Regal. I hope the health department comes and shuts you down because you didn't do your walkthroughs and you're not doing no contact concessions. Bitches.
The thoughts and comments of Jesse Young do not reflect.
They reflect it
in any way.
I don't like Regal. I only go to Cinemark. I only go to Tinseltown.
I worked at Regal for 7 years and I still go to Cinemark every time I can.
It's just Tinseltown is just so nice.
But as far as suggestions go, the 3 new movies that I saw this week, I only recommend one of them. That's Words on Bathroom Walls. Cute little teen flick. Teaches a lot about schizophrenia and just all of the people that come down with it, not just the victim itself, but there's a lot of stories that go with that.
Nice.
As far as Cutthroat City and Tulsa goes, leave it on the cutting room floor.
Words on Bathroom Walls, that's not what I was thinking it was going to be about. I was like, call so-and-so for a good time or something.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't get the title until there's about 20 minutes left and they mentioned it. And I was like,
yeah,
now I get it. But that title is really rudimentary considering everything else.
Like what it's about.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was another movie like that recently. I was like, oh, now you really get. We talked about it on here. Stupid story because I can't remember what the movie was, but
great radio.
I know, but it was. I remember thinking that like you'll once you get to this point in the movie, you're going to understand what the title means. So cool. How was your experience overall outside of that, though?
I enjoyed it. And selfishly, as much as I hate to see the theaters doing bad because nobody's buying a ticket, I like it because I don't have to worry about assholes on their phone or assholes talking aloud, while the movie's going on. So, to me, it was as good as it possibly could have been. I agree with Jesse. Like, they do give you the option on the app to order the food in advance. So if you want to, you can go that direction.
Yeah.
But you can also go up and order it with them. You're just going to have contact with the workers.
That's fine.
The only problem I probably had with Arlington Regal was the first night there, for some reason, they weren't able to read my card on here, which is on my unlimited. They weren't able to scan it for some reason. So I didn't get a ticket and it took me about 5 minutes just to get through that line.
Yeah.
The good news though, is that the hot manager that I really like was working. So I got to sit there and talk with her and joke with her for about 5 minutes. So
very nice.
Highlights.
Nice. Did she go skiing? One of my favorite movie goings is whenever a new release comes out, I always will go like the Tuesday or Wednesday after, and I do like late nights. And at Tinseltown, there's never anybody in there. So you get that. And the nice thing about their recliners is the armrests go up.
Yes.
So I fucking go in just like sweatpants and fucking comfy clothes, and I fucking just sprawl out. Got an entire row to myself.
And even the small
No
theaters
one's
are
in there.
big.
Yeah, dude. I love that theater. Cool. I'm excited for Tenet. I'm excited to be back in a theater, seeing that movie of anything.
It better not suck.
It's not gonna suck.
I know, but still,
it
better blow me away.
I need that soundtrack on vinyl. They need to release that.
The only thing I worry about is that, like, so it's probably not going to suck, but what I worry is, like, someone gives it an 8 out of 10, and that's lower than expectations because everybody built it up to be this, like, great, unstoppable force.
Last I looked,
I
it's
get
sitting
that.
at about 82% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't want to know that shit.
Yeah, I don't. Like we've talked about before, I'm going to a Chris before I go to a Rotten Tomato. Like, I don't know, because they're like, I don't know.
It's not.
I think it's going to be great.
I just don't want to know reviews before I see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in with the preconceived.
I think it's going to be.
Did I say 82? I meant 28. Or maybe it was, I don't know.
Let's just
It's
say it's okay.
It was 37. Soundtrack alone, I'm looking forward to just being in that theater, just hearing the music and shit.
I didn't know that the main dude was Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah, John David Washington.
I had
Same
no
guy-
idea.
did
Oh, you didn't know that?
I had no
Klansman.
idea because
I really like John David Washington.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, where'd they get this guy? Like, he's just like a random. Nick's like,
No.
Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, he's good.
This is
what else has he been in?
Black Klansman.
Oh, fuck.
Ron
yeah.
Watterson. You want a white man?
I really like him a lot. I don't know what it is about him, but I do like him.
He's got a lot of
Shit.
charisma.
I didn't even
Yeah.
connect that,
My boy Robert Pat,
dude.
the Bat.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
DC releases.
That's what I want to talk about.
So DC Fandom was this weekend. It was supposed to be a con where they release the latest releases from DC this year. Obviously, nobody can go to it because COVID, everything going on. But they had a horde of releases that came out this week, and I'm going to unleash it to this one right over here because he's excited for the Batman trailer.
Dude, all right. So I called it. I said Robert Pattinson would be great. And everybody was like, no, he's fucking Edward. He's a vampire. He's so stupid.
Those guys are stupid and they've never seen another movie.
Yes,
past
that didn't come
He-
from me.
He's got a
that's for
ton of stuff that's great.
sure. Yeah, Water for Elephant.
He looks
Oh, really?
I like Waterfell.
It's a good movie.
Yes.
It's a really good movie.
Dude, this trailer looks insane. And the
Mhm.
fucking villain is Riddler, which is
So
all that
dope.
we've asked for so long.
Is it just Riddler, though?
Well, so
Yeah.
side note, did you catch Penguin in the trailer?
Yeah.
That's
And
fucking
Catwoman,
well, do you know who plays Penguin?
Colin Farrell.
He looks nothing like Colin Farrell,
That-
bro.
That makeup and prosthetics better win the Oscar,
It's
is all
gonna-
I'm saying.
I'm
Oh
so
my God.
I'm so ready for it. Man.
Catwoman's in it. Fucking, there's other people that are in it too that are just like apparently possibly locked up because the rumor was that he was in Arkham Asylum and that's where we see
Yeah.
all of these villains.
Yeah.
But that's not confirmed. Like they could just be in it.
Yeah.
Well, you got goons wearing Joker makeup. I mean, that could be a
Yeah.
sign possibly. The Riddler, I love what you said about it, how it just seems like this Zodiac killer kind of thing.
Yeah.
The whole trailer gave me David Fincher vibes.
Yeah, it's like Seven or Zodiac or something like that.
Very much
Very
so.
dark.
And I just love, first of all, I love that it's not an origin story.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We don't need to know the Batman story for the 193rd time. Just give us a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I love all the casting. I think is airtight, perfect. Pattinson's great as the role. I had no fears in that whatsoever.
Yep.
My fear going into it was what's her name? Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman.
Yeah.
I kind of have a little fear on that just because I've never seen a dark side from her.
Yeah.
So I want to see what she can bring to that role.
She looked okay. She looked
Yeah.
badass in the trailer.
I like her, but I agree with you. It's a different role for her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
what do you think about what is his name? It's not Paul Dano. Is it Paul Dano?
It is Paul Dano, the
Yeah,
Riddler.
Riddler.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be great.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And not
yeah.
the Riddler I was expecting.
He looks weird. Like I can't tell because it's dark and you only see him for a split second, but it almost looked like his head was like wrapped in scarves or something and he
It's,
had goggles.
duct tape.
Yeah.
So he's doing the duct tape to
Yeah.
himself as well.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's dope.
And he
Yeah.
talks. It's not like it's not
nice.
Tom Hardy's talk, but it's a weird accent, man. It's
Yeah, it doesn't sound like him
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm pumped, man.
the breakdown from New Rock Stars is on. I haven't been able to watch it yet. I've been waiting, so can't do anything with that. But
Yeah.
like somebody decoded the
the Riddler.
Riddler thing. So he gets a note and it's like all of them are saying like to Batman or whatever. And it says what does a lying man do when he dies?
Yes.
So somebody decoded it because at the bottom there's like a bunch of Zodiac
This is
type signs
genius.
and it just says he still lies
Lies still.
or he lies still or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, God damn, bro. I am so excited.
And the music is a Nirvana, Something in the Way. I mean, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The whole entire trailer
pumped,
itself is better than any superhero trailer I
agree.
think that I have seen.
Doesn't look
Probably
like
ever.
Doesn't look like a superhero. It does not look like a superhero movie. Like
No.
it looks just like a fucking just like thriller. Like,
And that's what I love about because I liked Nolan's because I was like, yeah, I could believe that this could happen.
Realistic.
Right, it was more realistic.
This this makes Nolan's look like a fucking comic book page that some random made. Like, this looks so
it could
real.
actually take place.
Yes.
There's nothing spectacular about the plot. Like, and I'm not saying that as an insulting.
No.
I'm saying like there's nothing big scale. It seems like it's really all within this town, this Gotham town, dangerous criminals and all that. Yeah, there's so much to adore about this trailer. Even so much as just the last date that they show, where it's 2021 with the Riddler question marks on it, and that's a joke in itself because they don't know when this movie is going to come out in the first place. So,
did you guys see?
Which I was going to ask you guys. Do we know anything about a date?
No, just 2021 because they've only shot 25% of this movie right now.
Yeah.
So and they got this great of a trailer from 25% of the movie,
which makes me think that like this is all just either like right at the beginning, or you know what I mean.
Well, they film those movies like so
all over the place for
like
sure. But like most of the time, you get a trailer. If it's a
Yeah.
really good trailer where they don't show anything, it's like the first 5 minutes of a movie or something just spliced up really well.
Yeah.
That fucking van that comes in, he grabs the dude and like dives out.
I know.
Did you catch any of the writing on it?
On the van?
The only thing I could make out was the very back of it had DOA. And then you see the explosion with him getting put back. And I was like, holy fucking shit, there's a dude with a bomb strapped to him inside of that truck.
Ooh.
I did not see that.
I can't wait, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, time to watch that for the 48th time
I need to go
now.
back and watch the trailer. I only watched the one time. I need to go back and reanalyze it. 'Cause I was watching the UFC fight or something when it came out, I think. And I watched it and then I need to go back.
Yeah.
We're talking about
though.
other things, but for me, I don't know about you guys, that stole DC fandom to me. That was the
that was the best.
that was
for
the
sure.
release of the weekend.
They did have some other really good stuff, but that was hands down.
When you sent the Suicide Squad video game, I didn't realize it was a video game at first, and I was like, "Fuck!"
I didn't
I was
either.
like, "I want this to be a fucking movie."
That was my point. Is that so?
Looks so good.
I saw a screen cap of it at first, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! They're doing a movie with the other movie too." I'm like, "That's awesome! 2 releases maybe in 1 year."
Yeah.
And then I clicked it, and it's just a video game trailer. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't catch the IGN at first, which
Yeah.
is like a gaming site, and I just started watching the clip, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" And then I realized it was a video game, and I was like, "Well, fuck." But it does look incredible.
I'm buying that thing as soon as it comes out.
I
for
want the
PS5
game for
Hell
sure,
yeah.
but I was just hoping it to be a movie because I liked that. I know not a lot of people did, but I really liked Suicide Squad.
I thought Suicide Squad was fun, but it wasn't like great. And
Yeah, I
this
get
new
that.
one, I wish it would have been a trailer and not just a release of like who's in it, because I know that they're all supposed to be like B-list villains and people like that in the comic, and I never read the comic, so to me,
half of
like,
them aren't in it. So,
but like once you get into people like Polka Dot Man, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
the second one feels more like adaptive though. Like it feels more like the comics.
I just didn't think, like, I thought that their costumes looked really whack.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's intentional, but
for most of them,
like the first one, at least they looked pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I was like, what the fuck, man? This looks terrible. Like,
what concerns me about this movie, and this was kind of to a degree of Suicide Squad, it changed not directors, but it changed direction midway through production. It was supposed to be originally a very serious movie and like almost no joking in it. You can tell that from trailer 1 to trailer 3.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so watch trailer 1 and you go, wow, this is really gritty. It's similar to like the Batman in tone.
Yeah.
And then you watch trailer 3 and you're like, damn, this is like a comedy. It seems like a wacky comedy. That's my biggest concern with this, is that the humor is going to overweigh the stakes.
Yeah.
First of all, I love that they brought back Margot Robbie. I love that they brought back Jai Courtney as Boomerang. I love that they recast Bloodshot, I think is his name, right? Or Deadshot. From Will Smith to Idris Elba, my boy.
Yeah, I like Idris.
Yeah. And just some of the other casting that's on here. I got it here.
He was an asshole in The Office, though.
He was an asshole. Viola Davis is coming back too, and so is Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. But some of the new faces include, as I already mentioned, Idris Elba, John Cena as the Peacemaker, Michael Rooker as Savant, Peter Capaldi, who is my personal favorite casting as Thinker, Pete Davidson as Blackguard, David
Davidson.
Doshelman as Polka Dot Man, Nathan Fillion as TDK, Flua Borg as Javelin, Steve Agee as King Shark, and there's a bunch of others that I haven't heard. Oh, Sean Gunn as Weasel. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
Never saw that Pete Davidson.
I agree with you
movie yet,
though about the whole comedy thing, because like for me, DC has always been like really dark stories, and like
especially if you're going up against the Justice League.
Batman type of
Right.
characters. Like a lot of these are Batman villains, not all of them, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like Birds of Prey. I hated it. I was not a fan at all because it was so much.
I wasn't making
I had
love to
fun
it
with
like
it.
everybody else was.
I had fun with that. I thought it was
I had
pretty
fun, yeah. I just wasn't making, like everybody was saying, movie of the year and all that. And I was
Oh
like,
no, by no means.
I'm not going there.
Yeah,
But it was better than Suicide Squad for me.
I just feel like it should be. I want my DC to be grounded in darkness.
Yeah,
Marvel is fun and whatever, and
Yeah.
like I feel like they try to do that a lot. Like the whole Justice League with Aquaman going Yahoo, like jumping through the air.
My
That's-
man.
and like all that shit. I hate that shit.
It was stupid.
And like Aquaman followed in the exact same way.
Yeah.
It's just
I did not like Aquaman.
like
Which
Batman
I was
versus
really
Superman.
disappointed in, 'cause
Batman versus Superman wasn't great,
I liked it.
but it at least had the tone right. Like that was a dark movie with like a lot of stakes and stuff. They just didn't pull it off. I think it should be all of the Batman. I want fucked up
Yeah.
asylum crazy ass killers
Yeah.
getting loose, doing
Is that what they're
stories
calling
like
it?
that.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Is that what it's
Batman.
called?
I think that's what's strange about DC. So we're going through all these movies and we all have our opinions on them and everything. They all seem to be different for DC, but like if you bring up a Marvel movie to all of us, we're all like, oh yeah, or we're all like, oh yeah, that
It is
sucks.
true. DCs are hit or miss. I think with
Yeah.
everyone.
And that's
Mhm.
strange. Like to me, it's like they have to find consistency in that formula. And I liked it with like Shazam.
I thought Shazam was fantastic.
Yeah, I love Wonder
Shazam was
Woman.
Really good. Wonder Woman was really good.
The only problem with Wonder Woman is the last act, but that's hardly here nor there.
100%.
But yeah, I'm hoping that this will be the thing to get them back on. There's a couple other things I want to talk about too.
Of all of those, though, the only one that I didn't like was I like Justice League. I didn't like Aquaman.
Mhm.
I like Justice League. I like Birds of Prey. I like Batman vs Superman. Like Wonder Woman. I enjoyed all those. Aquaman just was tacky.
Mhm.
I really wanted to like it because I like Jason Momoa, but I think that to your point, even outside of the three of us, there always seems to be a divide when it comes to DC.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always a hit or miss, non-consistency. I don't know what it is that they're doing. I don't know if they have too many people running different
Too many
titles,
cooks.
you know, or whatever. So it's not consistent or what. But
Really, really quick, because I don't know if this was one of the ones you were going to talk about or not, but you brought it up. What'd you think about the new Wonder Woman trailer?
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to bring
Okay.
up. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. My biggest concern going into it was Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, and it looks like they're
Kristen
taking
Wiig.
a kind of realistic spin with it. I don't know if she's perfect for the role. We'll find out. As a comic actress, I like Kristen Wiig. I don't have anything against her, but as a serious actress, that kind of remains. I mean, she's done serious movies, but I mean, a menacing
Yeah.
presence.
Right.
She's never done that. So that kind of concerns me. Patty Jenkins is directing again. So, I mean, she did us right the first time. Hopefully, the same cook in the kitchen.
I agree with you, and to an extent with Kristen Wiig, like she doesn't play the serious role,
Mhm.
but I really like her in that trailer.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see her pulling that off.
Yeah.
It looks good to
And
me.
you
It
look
looks-
like you're kind of hesitant. What are you saying?
I think it looks good.
No,
and-
speak your piece.
I thought the first trailer was a lot better.
Okay.
I'm not really thrilled at how she looked when she was like fully in the like whole cheetah.
Realized
Like,
and everything.
yeah, like I don't know. It
I
didn't
haven't
look.
seen
It
it.
didn't look like the CGI and stuff was that good. Maybe it's not finished and polished yet.
I got to go back and
That's
look at
what-
this.
see.
It just seemed a little blurry and like thrown together. And I don't know a lot about Wonder Woman, but there's just a lot going on in this. Like I know her dad is Zeus, so the flinging from the lightning thing, I understand.
Mhm.
And then like the whole big gold suit, I was like, like
They go back in the past again with, Themoclus or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Maybe it's just like my lack of knowledge in terms of Wonder Woman and
Mhm.
stuff, but it just seemed like a bit much to me. The first one I liked a lot because it was just like her in her garb, kind of out of
You
her
just like the
element.
music.
Dude, the
I just
first
like
trailer's
looking at
music was
Gal Gadot, like,
fantastic.
Let's be real.
Amen. I remember when she first got cast, I was like,
She was
I don't
nice to
know who
look
this
at.
is, but I'm like, I mean, she looks great, but
I was like, that's a Fast and the Furious chick. She
Yeah,
can't act.
that's what I
Like,
was gonna say. Yeah,
that's
she's
true.
yeah, but she doesn't have anything to say in that movie. I was
No,
like,
she
she
just
can't
looks
fucking
nice.
act. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman, which is one of like probably the biggest female superhero ever.
It was great.
Yeah, I like the trailer. I guess for me going into this movie, it's like I have no reason to doubt it right now.
I expect it to be great.
It's like I'm going in with the notion that this better be a movie that even if it doesn't measure up to the first, it has to be right underneath it.
I think that the Wonder Woman was the best out of the DCU by far.
The DC, so
like Batman versus Superman, Man of Steel,
are you
Aquaman,
Shazam?
Oh, fuck no, I'm not.
Okay.
You know I'm not.
Okay.
That's Jesse's favorite movie of all time.
See, that's where
I
I'm
always
like,
forget he's included in
I
it because
don't-
he's not with them.
and technically that does exist because they do mention at the end, you know who.
Yeah.
So if that were the case, I would say Shazam is probably
Shazam's the
my favorite.
best. Wonder Woman is second best.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with Silver.
Yeah, that's true.
No?
I
was about to say something really bad.
But I thought for me, Wonder Woman was probably leading DC fandom until the Batman came out. Like when the Batman came out, it blew this movie out of the water.
Yeah.
And so I want to get to my last one. Speaking of which, Batman's in this too. Justice League Snyder Cuts trailer. So now we know this is going to be 4 parts, and it's going to be 4 hours long on those 4 parts on HBO Plus.
That's what they decided on.
Yeah. So
I'm more excited for that than Wonder Woman.
Really?
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for it, but I don't know about the 4 part. I don't know if I'm.
It's a lot of
It's
movie
tough for me, man. I know, but I just want to be able to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to depend on how they break it up.
Will you wait because of that? Wait until they're all up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm concerned about how they're going to continue it on.
It's got to be climactic every time. Like it's got to leave you wanting the next episode.
I'm gonna watch them all at once.
That's what I would like to do. I think I'm gonna have to wait for them to all be out and then watch it so I can stop it whenever I want, but not have to wait the week. Because I'm not gonna want to wait. It's gonna be a week apart. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna want to wait a week to continue a movie for a month.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
tough for
1
me.
month.
I don't think I'm gonna wait.
Part of what's
I'm watching it all at once.
cool about the trailers, there's so much about it that wasn't in the movie. I'm like, God damn, how much footage did they shoot in this movie? Like, none of this looks familiar at all.
They even changed what was his name? The main bad guy from Justice League. What the hell was his name?
Darkseid?
No. Darkseid wasn't in it. He's going to be in it. I didn't think he looked great, but
what's his name? The big goober.
It starts with an S. It's like
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
He had a completely different outfit.
Goober.
He had like this moving, like it almost looked like the Iron Man nanotech, like had the way it kind of like
it was CG.
Yeah. That wasn't in the. He just had like shitty armor on in the movie.
Yeah.
So like even that stuff has changed. Apparently they didn't do any reshoots though. Like that was never.
Oh,
a
like they
thing.
had the money
It's
to do
all. It's all just content that they had that ended up on the cutting room floor.
Didn't they give them a shit ton of money to refilm extra stuff?
I saw a report yesterday. He came out and said like there
Yeah.
have been no reshoots done. Like this is all just content. So maybe they're still planning on doing them.
It doesn't even look like the same movie.
When's it coming out?
I don't think they have a date set yet.
Maybe they still have to do the reshoots to fill in the gaps.
Possibly. I know 2021 is all they said.
Yeah.
So
But
I'll
I
have
thought
to
it
watch
looked
it at
great.
once.
It doesn't look like the same movie. There's tons of stuff. There was a spoiler in it though. I wasn't a fan of. Like Cyborg's dad gets vaporized.
Yeah.
They just show that. Like, fuck.
I think it's one of those where it's like it's not a pivotal death, so I guess they don't care so much.
I guess,
I don't
but
know.
like, there's no context to it, so
There's
nobody's
not.
gonna be like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
I wonder how that happened. Like, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in that, but other than that, it looks great.
So did you guys like or did you love Justice League? The
I
original cut?
liked it.
You
I
liked
wouldn't
it?
say I loved it, but I enjoyed it.
Enough for a passing grade.
Oh yeah.
I've
watched
watched
it
it
multiple
since.
times on my own.
Okay.
I think I've seen it 3 times.
Okay.
It has some, like, that's the thing is the problem with DC is you've got some stuff that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you've got other stuff that's like garbage, like the My Mans. That
Mhm.
stuff needs to be cut. It's stupid. It's quirky.
Mhm.
It's not the vibe I want from the movie.
They're trying to be something they're not.
But then you've got the scene where like Superman comes back and he doesn't know who they are, and like
Yeah.
Flash goes to run and his eyes
looks
catch
at
him,
dude.
and his eyes get all wide. I was like,
Best
that's
part.
fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
Best
Fighting
part.
in like slow motion.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's dope.
and
he
like,
like fucking destroys Batman.
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with all of them. Like Batman versus Superman, I thought had a lot of really good stuff in it, but then you have the Martha shit, and
Yeah.
like Doomsday didn't need to be in it, and
Mhm.
it's just they always just do one thing that's bad enough for me to be like, it was okay.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know.
Jesse Eisenberg killed me in that fucking movie. Like,
You didn't like him?
I hated him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was somebody I really believed in.
and
too.
I love Jesse Eisenberg, like as an
I'll say
actor.
I do too.
That role was not for him. He was basically playing the Riddler.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is not.
Red capes are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mind him. I'm disappointed in the ending, leading us to believe that there was going to be an extension.
Yeah.
On the boat.
Yeah.
And then nothing ever happened.
Well, and my thing is, and I got into a message board discussion about this. Spoilers, but by now, if you haven't seen Batman vs Superman, that's your problem.
Forever ago.
Like, I would have been cool with Superman staying dead. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I would have, like, the reason the Justice League forms is because of his death. Like, we need to come together as one because we lost our biggest superpower.
Right. Yeah.
I would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if you bring him back, give it a couple movies or something, you
Yeah.
know, and then be like, oh, hey, same thing as the comics. Like, I wasn't really dead, but
yeah, that's my problem with comics. Nobody's ever really dead.
well, that all started with Superman.
There's no heft. Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be Iron Man here soon.
It
it
will be.
better not
I'm
be.
telling you, it will be. I've said this 100 times. That's my problem with bringing back Scarlet too. Like, I love her, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Love her long time.
Oh, that's it for me. So,
Cool. I know it wasn't on our list and it's not movie related, but Billie Eilish, there was something released over the weekend in a audio mixer update. I'm not even trying to decipher what it was because I can't remember. But anyway, so I was watching some stuff on TikTok, and there was an update to an audio engineering program, and you can now view like a breakdown of her songs. And like one of them that they were like dissecting was Ocean Eyes.
Mhm.
And it was just really cool to see. They were talking about how like if you listen to that song, you would think that she was doing some kind of like auto tuning or something like for the sound quality or like the voice, like her voice and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And this guy like, basically it's like if you guys seen like when I record on here, like we have all the different like recording line for you and a recording
Yeah.
line for you.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
like our sound effects and everything. It's like 60 deep and it's all her.
just
And like
distorting
her
voice.
harmonies are no, it's not even that. Like her harmonies are her singing the same thing like 20 times.
Mhm.
And then she's like overlapping them a little bit to give it that like echoey noise and stuff.
That's dope.
It's just fucking dope
The thing that
to
I
see like how young she is. And she writes this herself. Her brother,
She's like only 18, isn't she?
her brother's her like engineer or something. Like he helps like do all that.
that's what I heard.
And like, dude, if you look at the breakdown of it, it's just incredible to see the time and the talent of like how she put these songs together. And it's just her
Yeah.
doing it all, you know. It was really cool to see. I was just watching videos of people like going through and like this one dude had it open and he would click on and off all the things and like listen to her. You would just hear her just like one part of her harmony. And then he'd add like the next one and like layer it and you could hear how it all builds.
Mhm.
It's so dope.
Well, the thing, like, and I'm on the minority side when it comes to Billie Eilish. Like, I think she's a talented singer. I just think the music that she's performing right now is not going to be her best stuff 10 years from now. To me, like, I think it's the same thing with like, you look at someone like Lady Gaga, like you look at that first album and everybody considers it legendary and all that.
Yeah.
But when people found out that she could really sing when she got away from the
She
pop
can
eye,
fucking sing,
she can
dude.
bust vocals, dude. So that's the thing with Billie Eilish is at the request of a friend, I listened to her whole CD. And when I came out of it, I was saying like, well, I want more of that song.
Yeah.
I don't want this song. I
Yeah.
want that song. Like,
She's got a lot of different stuff.
and she sounds unlike anybody else. That's what makes her special.
That's what I was going to say. She is the first artist where I've gone through an entire CD and can't find anything that I don't like
Mhm.
since Kanye.
Yeah.
And I sense
Wow.
like a little bit of that in
Mhm.
her and just like
that like music.
well, and like the
rawness.
range of
Yep.
stuff that she does
That's a
just in
compliment.
that one
It is.
CD. Like
Yeah.
he's like a musical genius
That's
in
what I was
terms of
gonna say.
making music,
Yes.
but in terms of her singing at different like just that. Like I would have never known that.
I just pulled it up. I'm going to show you. It's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm
I
like
found one of
I was
them.
an instant fan.
So you can see like all the different.
She just did like a ton of takes.
Look at all
This is
these.
the best parts from every take. Like pitch correction or auto-tune was not an effect that was used on her vocals. And look at her
at all
harmonies. Look at the amount of harmonies she did.
Wow.
Like this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Like if I just solo the harmonies.
See, that's the stuff she needs to be showing off.
That sounds so cool though.
I think this is one of the songs I like.
It's just crazy to see like you don't think about that when you listen to a 3-minute song.
Mhm.
Right.
All of that, and I agree with you to the point of like the Kanye, like Kanye is not my cup of tea, but the dude is a musical genius. Yeah. And I see a lot of that in her age and the time and the stuff she's putting together in her music.
Well, that first album she came out with, she was like 16 or 15 when she made that.
Writes all of her own shit and stuff too.
She's like 19 now.
She like just turned 19.
Yeah.
She's young. Or like just turned 18.
I think she just turned 18.
Because I remember everybody was like, oh yeah, Billie Eilish is 18 now. Like,
yeah.
It's wild though. But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think she has talent. It's like, my thing is, what was that hit song? I can't stand that fucking song.
Bad Guy.
Bad Guy, yeah. So like, the reason I don't like that song, she's singing like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to hear your voice, child. I want to hear what you can do.
Yeah.
Like, and it's all for pop eye. I know that, not pop eye, but it's all for the pop eye.
Yeah.
Right.
So when she gets out of that eye, then we're gonna find out what she's really made of, and that's when she's gonna tear the world.
That's all you got to do, though, is you get a couple of those to bankroll you, and then you just make something
Do
that
what you
you
want.
want to do.
Sure.
And it's blows you up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. On vinyl, she
Next
sounds
CD
incredible.
that comes
Do you
out.
have her on vinyl?
Not yet,
You
but
gotta
I'm gonna.
get it, dude. It sounds awesome.
I actually just went through all of my vinyl this week because I got like 75 records from my dad. So I got like, I went through all of his old stuff, everything that I had bought new, and then the rest of it I'm going to trade in and go and see whatever I can get. So
yeah, worth picking up. She sounds really good on vinyl. It just, her voice just fits that raw sound. Big fan. Cool. Well, I guess we can hop over to Let's Get Social. We don't have anything for Made to Motivate, I don't think.
No
That's our finale for the night.
The show is just motivating in itself.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes.
That is the way the news goes. Unfortunately, there's nothing motivating about it. That's why this segment is last.
Not these days.
So lots of Armageddon stuff going on. California is battling 3 giant wildfires right now.
3 of them? Damn.
Yeah, 2 of which are the biggest they've ever had.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the new thing every year. Like last year was the biggest one, and the one before that was the biggest one.
That's
like,
a
how much of California is not
It's a tell of the times, man. It's really awful. We talked about it on here before. Did you ever watch the documentary on Netflix I talked about? It's like California burning. I don't know. It's really, you got to watch it.
I just watched the Zac Efron episode of that show where his friend lost his.
Yeah.
This
documentary that's on Netflix. It's called like Palisades. Something. I don't know. It's terrifying though. It's like up front in your face, the wildfires from like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing is if this is the biggest one, like I remember the one from 2 years ago. I remember on Vine those people driving through it. And it literally looked like they were in
That's
hell.
what the movie's from. That's what the documentary's made from that one. Yep.
And then on top of that, like I remember we had like really pink skies all through like September. And it was because
of the fires.
Wow.
Yep. And it was like affecting us in Ohio. Like we had just like Indian summer skies for like a month straight, starting at like 7 o'clock.
The way that the sun, it reflects the sun differently and stuff because of like the ash and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are we gonna get now? More beautiful skies.
It's called Fire in Paradise.
Sucks for you, Warriors fans.
Fire in Paradise is the name of the documentary. Watch it on Netflix. It's good. But yeah, so they have some real terrible fires going on right now. Apparently, like one of the oldest redwood forests is gone.
Damn.
And like those are like old ass trees, man.
Right.
Like, and they're just destroyed. So really awful stuff going on in California. Just be cognizant of what's going on. Check in. Maybe there's things you can donate to help out, or if you got friends and family there. But yeah, awful. What do you do? I mean, I can't imagine living somewhere and like your whole world is just on fire, like literally.
How much, like, the one thing I've always wondered is with those huge ass fires, like how much of that is like a residential area and how much of that is just wilderness?
I was just about to ask that.
It moves in. I mean, you got to remember, like, so the Fire in Paradise one, if you watch that, it started out in like the forest or whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to think of how populated California is. There's only so much non-populated areas.
That's what I'm saying.
That moves in. And if you watch that documentary, the fire's moving so quick to where they live that they're trying to escape and there's nowhere to go because they're just surrounded by it.
Yeah.
So at one point in the show, they literally just compound onto like a parking lot, hoping that the fire won't spread through it.
Wow.
I mean, they're literally just stuck.
How surreal. To
and
see
like,
something
could
that
you
keeps
imagine
burning.
that?
Yeah.
And it's just like a wall of fire just moving.
That's wild.
It's terrifying.
So how many people are like displaced? Like, do we know?
I don't know.
A
for
lot
sure.
of people didn't die, right? Like there weren't a ton of deaths last time, if I remember right, or am I just ignorant?
I don't remember for sure, to be completely honest. Offhand, I mean, I should have looked it up. I just, saw the headline that they have some big fires going on right now, and I remember seeing how many firefighters and stuff were supposed to be coming together to try and figure out battling this thing.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's like dueling hurricanes coming.
Yeah.
So like,
ever.
yeah, Louisiana and Texas, I think, is where it's heading to. They're both Gulf.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're supposed to landfall at the same time. That's awful. Like, that's terrifying.
I'm trying to look it up just to find.
Of everything going on right now, then you got to get hit with fucking 2 hurricanes.
Real quick, as the religious person here,
Armageddon.
No, because I never believed in that crap anyways. Like all the end time stuff, but
Me and
like
Chris, like he had to announce himself in here.
Just making sure. Fucking where are all the Armageddon people though? Like this type of shit's been going on.
I see it. I see people post about it.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Because I never do, and I used to see it all the time, and it's like. I always thought it might just be like a little Trump excuse thing. Like, we can't have the end times now.
Yeah.
Trump's in charge.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like,
I definitely see it. I see people post about it.
If ever God was going to wipe us off the map.
50,000, by the way.
50,000 displaced right now.
50,000. And 86 dead.
Jesus. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot of people.
It's one of fire and drowning.
But here's the thing.
I'd rather burn than drown.
See, we had a fire.
Yeah, most times it's smoke inhalation.
How many people died in the fire last year? See, that's the thing. See, if people died last year, that's more important than this fire.
Right.
See, so, fuck you.
It's a fantastic.
A bunch of people died in that Obama fire.
How many people lost under the Obama fires?
We got Marco and Laura. Those are the 2 storms coming.
Marco and Laura.
Yeah. At least it's normal names. God, some of those names are so horrendous.
Yeah, dude.
Isosceles.
Dude, Marco and Laura are going to get it on.
Yeah, they are.
At the land.
It's about to be the perfect storm. Scissor Sisters over here.
It's going to hit Texas and
it's going
Louisiana.
up the Gulf, so it's supposed to be. So the where they have it pictured to go.
Like, what if it hit like Houston and New Orleans again? That would be fucking awful.
They said New Orleans is what I thought was one of the.
And that's, yeah.
Did they like right the ship from that? Like, did they like elevate the city ever in any way, form, or?
I watched a documentary about that, and they built some kind of big break wall out there. Like they built stuff out there.
I can't remember who it was, but it was
on. I think it's on Disney Plus. I watched.
There was some comedian that I watched back in the day.
There was like a document because they own like Discovery, so there's like a bunch of Discovery documentaries on there.
I can't remember what comedian it was, but he was like, New Orleans, like, who the fuck would have not guessed it? He's like, they're below sea level. They're literally a bowl surrounded by soup.
It's
like,
true. It is true, though. Here's my thing, and to that point, like, all these places, outside of, like, the Zac Efron thing, where it was, like, Puerto Rico, or they're I don't want to say Puerto Rico's third world. It is a U.S. territory. But some of these countries with less money and resources to build up, places like Florida or Louisiana, like hurricane-based places, why are we not doing something to build differently or fucking do, like, we know this is happening every year.
What can you build, though, to stop a fucking hurricane?
Well, they build houses differently now, but, like, there's got to be other things we can implement. Like, there's hurricane-built houses. Our in-laws that live in Englewood, they built a new house a couple years ago, and they built it like hurricane-proof.
Yeah.
And they, because they're on the Gulf Coast in Englewood, which they're not far from the ocean. But they build, I don't know, the structure's different, like concrete or whatever.
Right.
Like, there's things you can do like that. But outside of that, like, we know this is coming every year. Like, I feel like there's got to be a way that we can be more prepared for it.
My opinion is the government probably looks at it as that's your property. You take care of it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sadly. Yeah, for sure. But then you got to think that they ends up paying for the cleanup and
you got to
everything.
pay out the ass for that too. Like,
Yeah.
imagine insurance in a hurricane area where like, well, time to get a new house again. Like,
Right.
Every
It's got to be
year.
so expensive, man.
In New Orleans, one thing I was going to say when you were talking about that documentary, I was like, I've seen a few just kind of short films made about New Orleans.
Yeah.
Some of the situations down there, like, they are still reeling from it.
Yeah.
Like there's
still never recovered.
There was bodies like just, floating like in water and stuff, like graves are, flooding out. cemeteries have been ravaged and they haven't been fixed yet. Like there's coffins just lying out on the ground.
They did an awful job there. That was Bush era, right?
Yeah.
We did.
And they did a terrible job.
We did a missions trip just after Katrina, like not just after, probably 6 months after. And we weren't even in New Orleans. We went down to Florida, and then on the way back, we stopped in Alabama. And they had effects there. We were finding conch shells in this lady's.
You say conch shells?
Conch? Conch?
Conch shells.
Conch shells?
It's like this dude just said conch shells.
I did not say that.
God, Chris heard it too.
Well, anyway, we were finding big ass shells in this inland Alabama yard from that shit.
Have you ever had conch fritters? Conch fritters?
Play it back. I said conch.
No, on the real. Have you ever had conch fritters? Dude, conch fritters.
What the fuck is that?
They slam. It's the conch meat from in there. It's like a hush puppy, but the meat from in a conch shell, dude, they fucking smack.
He likes hush puppies.
Yeah, but to that point, like so much stuff was displaced and never handled.
Yeah.
They're still never like rebuilt a lot of the stuff there.
Well, like to your point, those coffins and everything, they have those above ground cemeteries.
Yeah.
So it's all just gone.
Yeah.
It's awful, man.
Yeah.
You thought it was haunted before.
No shit, man.
Because I follow a guy on YouTube who he goes to abandoned places, and one was a cemetery that was down there, and he gets chased off by a guy that owns that property. And he goes, "We just want to know why you guys have never attempted to rebuild here and all that." And he goes, "Get the f- off my property!" And he's got his gun with him and all that. And dude, it's a state of mind down there, dude. They know they got fucked.
They're in a tough place.
Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it.
It's sad to think about that too. That here in the U.S., even like that Puerto Rico Netflix episode, like that's part of the U.S. and they still have not gotten cleaned up.
Right.
They still are without power.
Got no water in Flint, Michigan, man.
Right. What the fuck, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
what the fuck? Well, our fearless leader, I'm pretty sure, said like Puerto Rico was.
He was shooting 3-point fucking
had nothing to do
paper
with,
towels
like, was
out
not a
of
part
him.
of the U.S. Oh, Jesus. Kobe. Rest in peace.
Hey, today is Black Mamba Day.
Yes, it is. Today's Mamba Day. Yesterday was his. Yesterday was
24.
Yesterday was his birthday.
It is Mamba Day.
Yep.
Rest in
Tried
peace,
to
Mamba.
get some shoes from him and
didn't work.
Did not work out to my.
That shit's gonna be.
Those were going to be a display.
You still
piece
could get
there.
them.
Well, they've released 2 pairs so far. Another pair comes out in like 2 days.
How does that work? Is it like a raffle?
So the 2 that have come out so far, you go on the sneakers app, which is the Nike app, and they release at 10 a.m. So the thing says coming soon, and then at 10 a.m. it literally says buy now, and you got to click it, and then it says you've been entered in line. You have to get picked.
What's your size? What's the name of them? Kobe.
They're going for like 900 right now, easily.
Kobe what's though? What are they called?
The Kobe. Let me see what the colorways are. But yeah, people have bots and stuff, so people will have like 1,000 things trying to buy them for them.
Right.
You know, so it's like it's impossible. Let's see the ones I wanted are going.
Mamba
for
Fury.
So the Kobe 4 Pro, the Protros. So
Protros.
The undefeateds. Well, right. Actually, those ones are low. The lowest ask on those is $450 right now, which is actually low. The undefeated. No, that's not them. It's the Protros, but just different colorway. The pair I want doesn't come out for a couple days, and they're going to be impossible to get. But $450, man.
$450 like retail?
No, that's what people are. That's the resale on them.
Oh, I was gonna say.
No, that's the resale. They.
I was like, I'd have resold those for more than 1,000 for sure. Then.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how low they're going because I thought they'd be much higher than that. I saw earlier they were like 800. So people probably aren't buying them, or it's oversaturated, so they're not getting the money they thought. But
deceased is always worse. Like it's always the price is going to go up twice.
Oh yeah, they'll go. I mean, they were retailed at $200 or $180, and they're selling for $450.
Yeah,
you know,
that was me whenever the Indians and the Cubs played. I was like, I'm buying everything I can because I was gonna flip it and pay off all my debt.
That was the old pair. That's why. That's the wrong ones. That was from last year. $650.
$650.
Yeah, they're going for $650. They retailed at $180. It's bullshit. I really wanted them. Like, not to resell. I wanted them to freaking.
I keep the Kobe's.
What site is that?
That's StockX. That's where I get a lot of my resale from. If you can't get them on retail.
How about I buy them for you and you shoot video for every mini golf game next year?
Jeez. That was just a piece for us to have, man.
Hell yeah.
I just wanted those just to display.
Yeah.
Just to have, like, Kobe's aren't like my favorite shoe design.
What do you do for
It'd
that?
just be something cool to have.
Because like other knickknack things that you put out get dusty and like whatever. Like shoes, you can't dust that later. Like, is there like something you put on that to protect it, or
No,
like for those types of shoes, those are things you want on display forever.
Those I'd probably put in like a case, honestly.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, those I would probably put on a shelf in an acrylic case around them.
Gotcha. That's what I thought.
Yeah, because those, depending on the material, you have to be careful. Those ones are like those Jordans behind you, where it's like the pattern, so you could just wipe them off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
something
love the
like
tongues on those ones.
I know, man. That's what sold me. The
Charlotte
purple
colors.
Yeah, big fan. So yeah. Anyways, Armageddon shit's going down. So fires, hurricanes, COVID.
Kobe.
Rest in peace. You ever listen to the episode? Dude, I listened to it the day after we talked about it, and I cried.
What'd you think?
I cried. It was great.
Best one though, right?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Is a good fucking episode. Just the sound bites. That whole first like 6 minutes, where it's just the sound bites and the music.
It's so airtight too. Like that is a perfectly edited episode. It is a perfectly put together episode. Perfectly like statitized, I guess is a word.
The stuff Jesse pulled.
Yeah, but perfect every end. It's beautiful. The music's great.
It's a good episode. Yeah, that's our boy. A lot of cool stuff went out yesterday for his birthday. A lot of people posted some cool things.
His wife's one was,
dude, I still don't know how she's doing it. I still don't understand her and your husband and your daughter. How do you? My thing, and I always, as I was watching, or because I follow her online, and she's been out living her life. Obviously, you have to. But I started to think about. I'm like, how do you? Like, I feel like I would feel guilty. Doing these things like,
oh, I see.
What I mean? Like she was out, like there was like, she posted them the other day. She was out like boating and stuff. And I'm like,
you gotta live.
I know, man, but I would just struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like, cause
she's not banging other men,
No,
like,
I know, but I don't know. It's just so hard. Like, I feel like that's just gotta be so hard to try and still live your life and like move forward with yourself.
Yeah.
But, still, I mean, obviously people know she posts stuff all the time. People know she cares and whatever. And that will be forever her husband and stuff, but it's just like, fuck. I don't know, stuff like that, tragic things like that. It's just, I don't know. I would struggle with that. Personally, like if it was ever me, like I would know I would personally struggle with that a lot.
Well, the hardest thing for me is the just the quiet afterwards, because you lost 2 people and now those voices will never be heard in that house again.
Yeah, man. What do you do?
Yeah.
Whew. Kobe. Fuck. The other thing we had was that we had a couple things. We had I don't know how in depth we want to get with this, but so there was the shooting that happened, I think at this point, maybe 2 weeks ago. The little white boy, Cannon, I think was his name, shot in his front yard by his neighbor. And outrage, obviously, rightfully so. People are upset, but then it immediately turned into this comparison to BLM, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Where's the parades? Where's the outcry for justice for Cannon? And
it's disgusting.
They're not. We shouldn't be. Why is our first thought that we're going to try and tear down Black Lives Matter because this little boy was murdered, and to try and compare it to the murder of George Floyd and seeking justice for him, or for Breonna Taylor, who's still has not had justice served, to him, where his murderer was immediately apprehended and being charged. They're not the same thing. The parades and the rallies and everything for George Floyd was because 4 cops murdered him and went without retribution for a week. This guy was taken in immediately, like the same day, within an hour or something.
Wasn't even an argument.
Yeah, his justice is being served for him. And I just find it so just appalling and disrespectful to try and put the two together to try and tear one down. People are still continuing to try and tear down Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, whatever. I don't even want to get into that. But just shame on them. Shame on people that are trying to utilize that for some sort of political agenda. You know what? It was a little boy who was murdered, and his family is grieving. They're getting justice in the sense that the guy was apprehended and whatever. So whatever justice little that's going to do, but like, what's wrong with people? That's their first fucking thought. I seen, and it was one where like I didn't comment, I didn't share, I didn't post because I just did not even have it in me to get into those conversations with people over trying to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, I don't even want anything to do with this.
I did it and got into a huge fight with my brother over it. And so since then I have blocked him from being, and it sucks. It's painful. But
I've seen it. I've seen people arguing over it.
To me though, I don't stand for racism of any kind. And to me, so the common theme that I get from their side in saying that, where's the news coverage? Where's all this? Where's all that? I'm like, so what's going to make you happy is to drag this woman, this mother, this grieving mother through the mud, have to relive over and over again that her kid was taken from her tragically when this case has already been solved. It's open, shut. This guy's going away probably for life, probably going to be dead. And there's nothing more to say to this. What more? So news coverage is going to make you happy. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
That's what you're arguing over right now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect point. Like the point of news, I mean, obviously whole other story with news coverage and political agendas and whatever. I get it. That does happen. A lot of these news stations are, either Republican based or Democratic based, whatever. But the overall general consensus or purposes of the news is to share a story and give you updates on it. Well, we know the update to your point. The child was murdered. The murderer was taken in and apprehended. I'm sure we'll hear more maybe when it goes to trial or we find out what happens with him. But it was an open and closed case. The George Floyd thing was on the front page every single day because we were trying to seek justice for him.
Right.
And it wasn't being given. So
and
they
other
were talking.
Stories were being built from that.
Exactly.
There were marches and protests and riots and all types of things.
Now imagine this neighbor didn't get, apprehended, and imagine they go and work the next day. Wouldn't you be pissed? That's how Breonna Taylor's family feels right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's why
the difference.
that's still talked about. Yeah. So I don't know. That one to me, like, I just was not in the mood to attempt to have that conversation. And I seen both of you commenting on stuff and I saw where they were going. Not that you guys were in the wrong, but like I saw like other people.
Yeah.
We know Jesse just tears people apart.
Yeah. Got to do it.
But I
don't know how you do it.
I was reading through some of the comments and even a friend today posted something and someone commented, she said, I'm not even going to argue with this. I'm not even arguing with you about this. Cause she posted how she was same thing we're talking about. She was kind of appalled by it. And then someone commented, well, all lives matter and they can't matter if Black lives matter, can't matter if all lives don't matter. Like one of those people. And she just said, like, I'm not even having this conversation with you. I'm not doing it.
That's
and
my
the girl just kept fucking commenting. I'm just like, that's why I didn't share it. And I don't know if that's the right or wrong thing. Cause then that kind of feeds into those people saying, well, like, why isn't it being talked about? But I just was not in the mood to have that conversation with just ignorant people. Like I just,
my thing is, and I hate doing this because I know you and I are of the same school in this thought process, but the next time that I post something like this and some inappropriate comment gets put on there, it's just straight to deleting.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not going to have you on my page anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see it. And then when you go, oh, why'd you delete my page? I'm going to say, well, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Over the last 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say 2 weeks probably, man, I've been cleaning house.
Yeah.
Either delete or unfollow. I've just had it.
I don't stand for
have
racism.
A lot of those people on my page.
I've gotten rid of them.
Like
I've started to get rid of them. I've got a lot of people on there.
Right.
And not people that I necessarily know personally, but people add me for random shit, the podcast or clothing stuff, or because honestly, a lot of times I get added for helmets, the cranial helmets. People will refer and then they'll friend request me instead of just, I always try and tell people like, go to the page and then message me through there. Even I think in my info on Facebook says like, this is my personal page. If you're, contacting me for a business thing, go to that page directly. Cause but I just accept them most of the time. As long as we have mutual friends, I'll accept it. Anyways, I got like 4,000 people on there. I obviously don't know them all. But I've finally gotten to the point now where I've just been weeding it out. If I can delete you, I delete you. If it's someone where I don't want to deal with that, I just unfollow. Like if I don't want to get to the point of like, I don't there's some people like you don't even want to have the conversation. Why'd you delete me?
Right.
So I just unfollow it.
And that's tougher for you because you have so many more people than I have. Like I have, I think 413 Facebook friends. So like
I've only got like 250.
I try and be cautious just because of the brand. I don't want to call myself a brand, but like everything else that I have my hands in.
Right.
So I really try and just be cautious with the people that I engage with and like deleting people because I've the podcast, my photography. rock everywhere, the cranial bands. Like I have a lot of people coming from different revenue streams or avenues, you know? So I got to be careful with like who I delete, but
see, if I don't talk to you like at least twice a year,
yeah,
I delete you. I do a purge every year.
Yeah.
Like I get people from high school that I knew that I
Yeah.
like used to talk to, and they're like, they'll send me an invite, and I'm like,
yeah.
I haven't seen you in 10 years. I don't need you on here.
You guys are also different in how you manage yours. You guys are like private, like all of your posts are private, and not private, but friends only.
Yeah.
Selfishly, a lot of mine, selfishly, my page is more open, and I just do it because of the fact that I really use Facebook as just business.
I do it for work because I don't want work ever snooping my page.
Yeah.
My boss has been caught looking at trying to find out information about me.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it like when I hire and stuff. I go to people's Facebooks. I'll search for them.
All my stuff is private except for my Sports Illustrated Twitter.
So selfishly, like mine, but I recently turned a lot of my posts to private or friends only, and then the only public ones are if it's like podcasting, because you can't share it if it's not
private.
So like when you post stuff for the mini golf, that's why like I posted a screenshot because I can't share it because you have it as friends only.
Okay.
So I screenshotted it.
Well, I can unprivatize it. I can do it post by post though.
Exactly. That's what I started doing.
Yeah.
So I have like most of mine like friends only, and then if it's something where I want it to be shareable because it's like the mini golf or it's the podcast, then those are public.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Just something over the last 2 weeks or so, I just kind of got to the point where I'm just like, I can't.
I just got your joke too.
Did you get it? It's fucked up, right? Did you see
I
it?
saw it earlier.
But yeah. So anyways, that was like one of the stories. Like this was one of those things where I was like, I'm not in the mood for it. And then, was it today or was it yesterday, the shooting?
Sunday.
So yesterday, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, there was
about 40 miles.
Blake.
40 miles south of
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
The right name, Blake?
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher this.
Yeah,
I think
Blake,
it's Devin Blake or Blake. Something
It's
Blake.
not Devin Blake, but I think Jason Blake?
Jason Blake might be right. Sorry. It like just happened and we weren't sure what we were going to talk about tonight, but I thought it was necessary or like at least to dabble in the conversation.
Sorry guys, we get hundreds of these a month. So
Jacob Blake.
Very close. So to Chris's point, sarcastic or not, sadly, this is all too often. Jacob Blake shot in the back 7 times, supposedly had a knife. This is a hard one.
Allegedly.
Allegedly had a knife.
The report is saying that people heard this phrase, drop the knife. And if you zoom in on a certain video, which may be doctored or not, I've seen it a bunch of times and I don't think it's very clear. Frame by frame, it could be anything, but it looks like there might be a curved blade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's possible you just say that as a cop. Like you just say, oh, drop the gun or, drop, just to justify yourself.
Here's my thing.
To me, I'm not going to, if you have a knife, I'm not walking over to you and trying to grab at you.
No.
Personally.
I get it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's against your training also.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a fucking knife. If
Yeah.
there is one, that changes the story a lot.
That's a good point. If he did have a knife.
That's not a knife.
They followed him all the way around the vehicle to the driver's seat.
Back passenger door.
He wasn't
front driver's
running
side door.
either. The dude was just a brisk walk. He was not
just like stomping.
He like was walking off, but he wasn't running away.
Back turned the whole time.
Turned away. To Jesse's point, if he had a knife, I'm not chasing after you. Tase me.
Well,
I'm going to tase you, if anything, to take you down.
So they did tase him.
Did they?
Allegedly, they tased.
Let's say
him. It didn't work.
He took it like a champ.
Yeah.
I didn't see him fucking even like falter.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was before the camera.
Yeah, the camera kicks
the camera is only on.
Starts walking.
20 seconds.
He's already walking away. Yeah.
I think the story goes that he went there to break up a fight. Police got called. He's got his kids in the car, 3 kids.
Yeah.
And then it's unclear as to why he was going to get arrested. That has not been released yet.
Okay.
Some people claim they heard drop the knife. There's no clear-cut reports saying he had a knife.
I was going to say, did they find a knife?
I would assume that would have been the first thing reported.
Right.
He goes from the back passenger side door with 2 cops with guns pulled on him, following him all the way around.
Yep.
And then as he opens up the driver's side door and goes to get in, they're pulling on the back of his shirt and he shoots him 7 times in the back, like 1 to 2 feet away from him, if that.
So my problem, like, if you get to that point now as a cop, you're at risk. Who knows if he's got a gun in the driver's side door or on the seat or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But why did it get to that point?
That's the issue. The issue is not the shooting in the car.
Right.
Because that's the first thing you're always taught is don't reach for anything in your car.
Yeah.
Every gun owner knows that.
Yeah.
They tell you that. I mean, we're both CCW owners. When you get pulled over, the first thing you have to do,
hands on the steering wheel,
and don't tell anybody or tell him I have a gun. This is where it's located.
Absolutely.
I have my CCW. I won't reach for it.
Okay.
Everybody should know that.
Chris has a video that says, I didn't see a knife. The man who recorded the video, who was there, close quarter, said he didn't see anything.
I also saw that too. So conflicting reports coming out. You knew it was going to happen.
Absolutely.
As of right now, there's no official report saying that there was any weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's tough.
But my thing is like you said, he walks around the car.
Yeah. He's not running.
He's not running away. He's not fighting anybody. The guns are pulled on him towards his back.
The entire time.
You could have tased him.
Yeah.
You could have tackled him.
Yeah.
If he did have a knife, why didn't you shoot him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
why did it get to that point?
If I'm a cop where I've to the point where I've drawn my weapon on you, clearly there's a reason in my mind.
There's some you feel.
And if you have a knife, I'm gonna gun you down.
Yeah.
Because then at least I have a justified reasoning behind it. I'm not gonna walk up behind you, tell you to stop, pull on your shirt, and then shoot you. I'm not pulling on you if you have a knife. You're not going to get close quarters. That's not in your training. That's not in anybody's basic thought process.
I'm not trying to get swung on with a knife.
Right. So the whole thing is dumb. And then you let him get to the point where if he has this knife, you are now letting this dangerous individual who's armed and dangerous.
3 officers, I think, too.
I've seen, I don't know.
2.
I heard 2.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 3 the first time, but I've only watched the video twice, so I could be wrong. But there's 2 or 3. Yeah. Either way.
At minimum 2.
So you're letting this man who's armed and dangerous, allegedly, walking with a knife towards you, going to a car with 3 children in it,
who we can now take as hostage at that point.
Like, you're not going to let that situation evolve, and you're not going to let him go to the car where there's possibly a gun. So to me, I don't think that there's a knife there. I think this dude is going for whatever happened. He's stomping away. He's clearly pissed in the video. I think he said, you know what, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. They're
Maybe
saying
tased,
stop.
you know,
Right. I didn't do anything. I came here to stop this fight. Whatever the reasoning is, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No, the fuck you're not. We're going to follow you. Guns pulled. Hoping he stops. No, fuck you. You can't shoot me. I didn't do anything.
Done anything wrong.
And then you get shot in the back.
And I was telling Jesse, what's unique about this particular case is that this might be one of the first times where like the victim lives and they get to tell their side of the story.
Right, because he's not dead.
That's what's interesting about this whole thing. He's laying in critical condition right now.
I forgot about that.
Like, can you imagine if he lives?
Yeah. It's like
That's
the
true,
Godfather,
because that
man.
doesn't happen. That does not happen.
And
I don't know, man. As a
And the
cop,
way
you're in a
they
shitty-
did it,
in the-
like-
as a cop, you're in a tough spot. Because if they shoot him beforehand and there's no threat, then they're fucked. At this point, they feel there's a threat because he's reaching into his vehicle, so they shoot him.
Yeah.
What's the right thing? You know, what do you, I guess, if they technically tased him, it didn't work, and now he's still leaving, do you just shoot him walking away from you?
Dude, his back is turned. He's so vulnerable at that point. You could do anything, even knife or not, even if he has a
That's
knife.
what I'm saying. Like,
For
what is
argument's
the
sake.
right thing to
Kick
do?
his damn knee out, man.
Right.
And you know,
Kick his ass.
Tackle him.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the leg.
Yeah.
You can't shoot him in the leg. I keep seeing that.
Yeah.
People are always talking about, well, do what, I don't know who said it. Some politician
I'm
or
Probably not
something.
gonna, you're probably not going to like hit them
But
in the
people,
leg.
well, even beside that, there's major arteries in your leg, so you could still kill them.
Yeah.
So that's problem number 1. But problem number 2 is your entire training is always shoot
to
center
kill.
mass
Yeah,
and
I know.
shoot to kill.
to the stomach. one and a half.
Because if he is armed and
Chest wound.
dangerous, you shoot him in the leg, you now have to deal with the fact that he can still harm you.
Yeah.
He may have a gun, he may have a weapon you don't know. Aside from that, let's say he doesn't. Let's say that he didn't have a knife. He really was just there to stop a fight. You're now liable.
That's what I'm
Probably going to
saying.
lose your
What's
job
the
and
right
get
thing
sued.
to do? What do you do?
Beat his ass. You have batons. You have tasers. You could have tased him again. You beat the shit out of him. You get him down on the
beat the shit out
ground.
of him.
You
Now it's a
overpower him.
Rodney King issue.
That's fine.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying
there's
beat
no
the shit out of him
win.
with clubs like Rodney King.
I just
but
think as
like
a cop,
justified
there's
apprehension.
No win-win in that situation. And I think that's a training problem.
people get roughed up by cops all the time, though. You can put that dude on the ground, whatever. It's better than shooting him in the back 7 times. Rub his face in the dirt.
I
You're going to get
absolutely
people
agree.
pissed, but
I just think in this environment right now, to your point, had they beat his ass, had they taken a baton out and beat him,
Sure.
That's still going viral. And they're saying this cop beat an unarmed black man.
Sure, but the guy's not dead.
I agree.
And
it just sucks.
And you're not going to get fired and put in jail for the rest of your life after that.
Yeah.
You now have put your entire life at risk. You might be in prison if this is found to be a wrongful killing. You're going to jail for murder because there is not a single law in a single state in this entire country that justifies a shooting in the back. Not in stand your ground, not in castle law, not in anything, because a person cannot be a clear and present danger to you when their back is turned to you. He can have a gun in his hand in my home, walking away from me, and I cannot shoot him. And that is the law.
Yeah, your life has to be feel your life is an immediate threat.
I guess what's
justifiably.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to prove that you were.
I guess what scares me about the whole thing in terms of if they're going to get away with it or not is the reach.
Yeah,
that's what kind of worries me. Like, because that can be made into anything on that video, whether true or not, that can be made into anything.
Yeah, they're going to say he reached in. I mean, but at that point, what happens if, okay, so they say they feared maybe he was reaching for a gun and they don't find anything.
Doesn't matter. He's reaching.
Are they still justified?
He's reaching.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Do they have body cams?
That sucks, man.
I've heard rumors that this county is like
no body cam.
I heard they don't even wear their badges. I don't know how true that is. I heard it from a reliable person, but I don't know.
We've talked about it before in the George Floyd stuff. I just think there needs to be some kind of training regiment update or something. Like in this environment right now, I just think as an officer, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Regardless, to your point, obviously now they're have the risk of spending their life in jail if he dies. But I don't think there's a win. I don't think you're winning in this situation.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like Jesse though. Like I would rather get in trouble for like if I had to beat his ass rather than kill him, because it just you could look bad for beating someone's ass. Obviously, Rodney King.
Yeah.
But like you don't have to freaking beat him to a bloody pulp. You can beat him, get him down, hit him twice, and then walk away and be like, "You're subdued. Now stay down."
And the worst thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to go to sensitivity training.
Yeah, not even the job security thing though. That is irrelevant. I mean, it's an issue, but I just mean the social media environment where it's like those cops, I mean, they're on video. If they would have beat that dude, that's still spreading around. And as a cop now, you're at risk. Yep. Like you're out there. People are like, that sucks. Like I don't envy them.
No, I don't either.
Like I would hate to be a cop today because you're losing regardless.
Yeah.
You're going to lose that battle. No matter what. Maybe not to the department, but in the eyes of social media or whatever, you're going to lose.
Yeah. The way that he shot him, even though, like, aside from the fact that it was in the back and everything, the way he shoots him, holding onto his shirt, and it's like
close
bang,
quarter.
Bang. Like, it's not like cut. Like, you know, like usually that type of stuff, it's like gun. You're
just trying to eliminate the threat.
It just, I don't know. It seemed slow to me, didn't it? Like, it seemed very target practice. Like,
he's just holding him. And he's like, bang.
I mean, 7 shots is usually like, I can unload a clip.
You're just unloading your clip because you're just trying to eliminate the threat of being there. Like, yeah, I agree with you at that point. It was real slow and drug out.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe for somebody that shoots, it seemed pretty fucking slow.
Yeah, you can unload that clip.
If my life is in danger, I think you're reaching for a gun to turn and possibly use on me. I am unloading, and it ain't gonna be no cut. I'm not aiming, especially from that distance. I'm pop.
Yeah. If you genuinely felt your life was threatened.
And before it even happened, like the women are there screaming. They're like, "Don't fucking do it! Don't you do it!" And then it fucking happens.
She comes running around screaming. She's running around the front of the car,
and it's just,
I don't know. Hopefully he lives.
And the thing is, man, a taser, 7 shots, and he still has a chance to live.
Yeah.
Like someone was on his side.
Yeah.
Not the police, but someone. Hopefully he makes it out and he can.
It was God, guys. You can say it.
Might as well have been Santa Claus at that point.
Jeez.
He was on the nice list.
Then nobody was on his side.
Hey, this is Atheist Chris. Meet Chris.
Just awful. We're at this point again with these. It just seems it's just never ending.
I just think like
never ending, man.
How do you not have enough sense either? Like, if I'm a cop right now,
especially right now,
I'm gonna know damn well
somebody's
that
watching.
You're gonna be a threat to my life. Like, there ain't no way I'm letting anything dumb like that happen. Like, I'm not letting you get to the car if I think a gun's in there.
Yeah. Right.
There's no way.
Yeah. I'd rather go to sensitivity training than to go to jail.
Well, and to that same point, though, and this is going to probably sound bad, but as as the gentleman, with everything going on right now, I would also be in a very heightened state of caution.
Yeah.
To not want to get freaking shot and killed.
The thing is just like there's so many scenarios that could have justified it. You try to arrest him, he breaks off and goes away or something. You know what I mean? Any of that stuff. Or yes, any of that. I could be like, okay, you were defending yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes police shootings are justified.
I agree.
But I mean, for God's sake, you let the man walk away.
Walk away, literally.
And then you just go down and follow him, and you're like, okay, it's almost like he was waiting for him to open the door to just unload into him,
just to justify.
And here's the thing: if they're worried about him taking off or whatever, or taking the hostages off, shoot the tires.
Right.
You know, like put enough bullets in that vehicle to where it's like it's over.
Again, I think it's a training issue. To Jesse's point, is shoot to kill. At that point, I think he was just waiting for the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He waited for him to get to that car so he could say, "I was at threat." Take him out,
and that's the problem.
That's an issue.
This is another one where I want to see what all comes out of it. I want to know if there's a gun in the car. I think that then it changes the entire narrative and it becomes more justified. Yeah, now you have a problem of how you let it get to that situation and you're worried about de-escalation. Yeah. But I think the justification of the shooting is there. If there's nothing in that car.
But how would they know? They're just going to say they felt threatened regardless.
Sure. But at least then
there was a clear threat. If
there was a clear threat. Especially, and he's really fucking close. I mean, he's on the dude's shoulder.
Yeah.
You can tell if he's reaching. Just because he opens a car door doesn't mean he's reaching for something.
No.
And
he was close. You could definitely see.
He knows if he reached down to the side of that door, reached underneath the steering wheel or
trying
seat.
To get in the car is what I thought it looked like.
It happens.
He was just trying
so
to get
quick.
No, I know, but I mean, from the video, obviously, if you're right there, you'd be able to see more.
I want that guy's body cam footage. Is what I want.
And how long is he holding onto his shirt too? Like when that happens,
that door opens, he grabs him, and then he's holding him, and he's just shooting him.
So to me, the second, I know it's different between a cop and a friend or whatever, but you grab my shirt, and we're angry at each other for whatever reason. I have a knife. I'm swinging like this the second it starts. Like you're taking one.
Yeah.
And
he grabs that shirt and. I mean, at that point, he's being shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The alleged knife that he has, because I saw the still picture, which you can't really tell what it is. There is a black curve, but it's almost like Jurassic Park when he pulls out the raptor claw. It's one of those curved ass. What the fuck are you bringing that to a domestic dispute for?
Right.
You know what I mean? Of all the things that you have, that's not just sitting in your pocket.
Yeah.
This is why I think
those are sometimes belt buckle knives.
Body cams.
Those little hook ones, they slide out of your belt buckle.
Oh yeah. Well,
I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. To Jesse's point, I don't know if there's any body cam footage or anything. I haven't heard much about it other than
all cops, all of them.
Then I didn't turn it on. I forgot.
Well, then
immediately arrested. You should be arrested, or
Yep.
not arrested. You should be fired, suspended, whatever.
Depending on what happens, you should be arrested. I mean, it's not fucking hard.
Yep.
It's part of your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Make a jingle to it. Turn on the camera and put in the keys and go drive.
Yeah, it is what it is. All of us have protocols we have to follow every day at work. It's part of your job. Turn your body cam on.
Yep.
Right.
I got to wear the mask. If I don't do that, I'm going to be escorted out of the building.
Right.
I remember it every morning.
It's just crazy to me that people are not learning on both sides. Being extra precautious as a citizen and as a cop, knowing with everything going on right now. Why are you putting yourself in that position?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get fucking videoed. You're going to be blasted online for it. Your life and job is at risk. People just don't learn, man. It's so frustrating.
Not a career I want.
No, man. I just seen they just inducted a bunch of people.
We're going to have so many court cases to be following in the next coming year.
I want to know what's going on.
You've still got Aubrey.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
You've got Floyd. You now probably are going to have this. Breonna Taylor is coming, hopefully.
Yeah, people are still pushing for it, so hopefully something turns from that. I want to know what happens with Ahmaud. That's a big one.
That seems so long ago.
February, right?
I don't even know.
February, January?
February.
It's been over a year though, because it took forever
January.
for us to ever see that video.
Well,
it was 6 months later.
It was in February, but we started talking about it in April.
Yeah.
It happened in February. I know that for a fact.
Just so much wasted lives and wasted hours inside the courtroom. None of this needed to happen in the first place.
Well, and all this stuff is blatant stuff too.
Absolutely.
It's all extreme cases. Arbery was a traumatic video.
Dude,
I've seen more
awful.
people killed in the last 4 years just from social media.
Yep.
Like, I was thinking about that today. Like, people have trauma from witnessing these types of things.
Absolutely,
and
man.
now it's like, you see it every day.
Yep.
We just watched a guy die. Like, I saw the thing and it was like, this is a traumatic video or something.
Dude, it was still hard to watch.
It was. I'm not saying
I was
like
skeptical to watch.
I don't feel like I'm desensitized from it, but I do feel like
in general
there's a lot of stress that comes from viewing that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to see that, like George Floyd fucked me up.
Dude, that was so awful.
And this one, I was like, fuck, like this one, I got angry. George Floyd, I felt bad because it was just like terrible.
Yep.
And this is terrible in a different way, but this was shocking. And I was just like, motherfuckers, like you fucking don't learn.
George Floyd was awful just watching him be nailed on and suffer. This one, like watching someone be shot to death on video, like and not a movie, is hard to watch.
It's not like movies.
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to see.
And that was the same thing with Ahmad, like to see him just shotgun to the fucking stomach and just to fall over into the street. Like there's a reason the outrage came from these incidences.
So awful, man.
And this one is going to blow up just as much. I guarantee it.
Yep.
They've already started protesting there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're fucking up cop cars and a cop took a brick to the head and their riot gear and everything already. Like it's going down.
I've said it before. This is my thing. If you're tired of the whole, Black Lives Matter movement and you're a cop and you're angry that you're getting portrayed a certain way, I am getting pissed at these police forces that allow this shit to happen all the time.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Quit fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like that dude should be done right then and there.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have enough to arrest him. Fine, but he should be fired.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no way that's protocol. There's no way.
Is he still working? There's
I haven't heard any updates about anything.
That should be an immediate suspension without pay or with pay, whatever you want to do. But yeah, he needs gun badge turned in until further notice. Yeah. He should not be reporting back to work after that. I think that's protocol anyways. And if their officer
maybe
involved
if you shoot somebody.
I think if there's an officer involved shooting,
but that doesn't mean you're not getting paid. Like,
right. But standard procedures, I'm pretty positive.
That's like you're going through your psyche valve though to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's true. It's probably not for the person's benefit. It's for your own. They're doing it for your sake. Either way, it's just I don't know. It's how long are we? How often are we just going to keep talking about it?
Once a month,
and nothing changes.
I mean,
yeah, at minimum.
Here's a shitty line to hear in a different context. It's kind of our thing.
Yeah, it is. Sadly, we haven't had one of these since George, which wasn't that long ago. But is Seattle still off the chain right now? Are they still going all in over there?
Portland is too.
Yeah, Portland. Yeah. I think that's what I meant, Portland. Which one was the one that created their own little country?
That was Seattle.
That was Seattle. And Portland's also still doing
Portland's still going hard.
Good, man. Wonder why they're of all places. I mean, I'm glad, but
I think that it was just the escalation of them trying to push back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that it's as crazy as people make it out to be. I don't think the whole city is going like that. I mean, they're doing the fucking NBA games in Portland. It can't be that bad that they're bringing people in, but it's still got its pockets of insanity.
There's NBA games going on in Portland?
No.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. They're all in. God damn it.
I was like, what? They're all in the bubble in Orlando,
yeah,
bro.
No.
I was like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Me too. What did I fucking
They put the logos on the freaking court. I'm like, yeah, home court advantage.
I trusted Jesse as a sports guy. I was like, what did I miss?
I'm just
Florida.
I'm just a fucking idiot.
Okay, I was about to say, like, what?
It's like the same two buildings, basically.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I was wondering why they're specifically is still so high tension, but
because they're playing now. I was thinking about
it's good that it is good that it's still happening. We'll see
real quick. Halftime, Lakers are up 80-51.
Jesus.
They're gonna drop 160 points on these dudes.
There's some bad defensive games in these playoffs. Toronto hit 150 last night in just 4 quarters, not overtime. Just
150 points.
Yeah, you got no defense.
There's no defense in the NBA.
Bro, that's unprecedented though. 150. What's the highest score in an NBA game?
I think it's 200 and
what?
I think it's like 211 or something like that. Seriously.
I don't know.
This is back in the old days.
LeBron's got 22.
What's the highest scored NBA game?
There are 4 conference quarterfinals games on tap for today.
Oh,
just Google it.
Bucks and Magic was 121-106.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I'm like, why aren't my Suns in these playoffs? They can score 200 points.
Dude, I never realized that. I never knew NBA games got that high.
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons scored the most points in an NBA game in a 186-184 win over the Denver Nuggets in 1983.
They both had that many points.
That's probably 4 quarters, too.
Bro, who was the highest scorer on that team, on that game?
I don't know.
What year was that again?
1983.
That was the start of the decent Pistons.
86 and 184.
So you might have Isaiah. No, I don't think he's done.
Bro, that's wild.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I mean, you got that's a lot of baskets, man.
Yeah.
60 shots made.
You got no defense.
No. That's awful.
We got anything else for
No, I think that's it, other than Jesse looking up this stat.
Oh yeah. Did anybody
No one claim their prize.
Oh.
Isaiah Thomas had 47.
I haven't posted the episode yet.
Oh, that's right. Whoops. Your fault.
You can't claim your prize yet because I got to post the episode. But we did announce the winner of this. It'll probably be too late when you watch this episode because I need to get 50 up first. But
these teams were actually pretty well evenly spread. Isaiah Thomas had 47.
He was there then.
John Long had 41. Kelly Tripucka, I don't know who that is, had 35. That was all for the Pistons. And then on the Nuggets side, Kiki Vanderway had 51.
He was a good player.
Alex English had 47. And then the next highest was Dan Issel, who had 28.
Wasn't that a song not long ago? Kiki, Kiki, do you love me? Isn't that a song? I think it was on TikTok.
Oh.
That's crazy. That many points, and then 40 was the highest scoring.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas was 18 for 34 for 52%.
Everybody was in double digits that night.
Yeah.
19 free throw attempts.
Dude, there was some pretty big triple doubles and stuff recently in the playoffs right now.
That's like hitting 18.
Luka and Braun, baby.
Dude, he's a monster, man. How old is he?
Luka's
21 or something?
He's like 21, yeah. His mom is sexy.
Yeah, she is cute. She's tiny, right? He's a big old dude. He came out of this little tiny body.
Dude, she's
gotta see this.
Yeah.
You don't know Luka's mom?
Oh, yeah, she's
man,
fine,
get ready. When she showed up on draft day, I was like, man, what the fuck? That's Luka's mom?
I remember, yeah. Because I remember him standing next to her, and I was like, he came out of her?
It's one of the options.
It's like looking at
Jesus.
It's like looking at the mountain and his wife or girlfriend.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, Chris is
like
hold
not
up.
like just cute. She's fine.
Yeah.
God, I want to see her on Brazzers. I mean,
the thoughts and comments of Chris Kessinger do not reflect the Made to Motivate contact in their
Chris
way.
is like, hey, can you try and find the remote?
Deep fake Luka's mom.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, he's a killer. That dude.
They are tough, man.
That's on 1 foot, 3-point shot winner. And they're beating the Clippers, man. The Clippers are supposed to be the second team to rival the Lakers.
They were my favorite in the West, yeah.
If the Mavs knocked them out,
yeah, dude.
like I thought they'd put up a fight. I thought they'd maybe go 6. It's 2-2 right now.
Yeah.
And Porzingis didn't even play.
Who do you think's winning?
I still think
we're in the wrong segment, but who's winning the
I
finals?
still think the Clippers are going to win.
Kawhi won it all.
The finals, Lakers.
Everything.
Lakers.
Who's it going to be? Lakers, Clippers?
No, they're in the same conference.
Lakers.
I say Clippers, Bucks.
It's got to be the Bucks, I would think. But
Toronto's looking good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's going to be them or Toronto.
I haven't watched any of it, and with everything going on, it's so scrambled. I don't even know who's playing. I need to check in. I mean, I've watched the Lakers. That's it, though. I haven't watched anything else.
Yeah.
I need to get up to date on who's in it.
I mean, the preseason favorites was Lakers Bucks, so I'll probably roll with that still. But I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto went in.
Yeah,
Lakers.
Boston's playing really well too, though. I mean, the East is.
Yeah, it's like sweep.
Milwaukee really needs Giannis to be amazing for them to get through it, and he is. But they got some issues.
This is
everywhere
Bron's
else.
Second year with Lakers or third? Second.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year he got hurt.
Man. He needs that ring.
He's gonna win it. You can't tell me that the year that Kobe passes, the Lakers are not going to win. And they're the best defensive team in the league.
If they do win, it's just going to be because Kobe passed away and they rigged it. That's why.
This is who they are, though. Like,
no, I agree.
You've got them held to 50 points.
Yeah, bro. 80.
Dime, all that stuff.
That's a big run.
Draft's going to suck with the Warriors getting number 2.
The Warriors,
Fuck
bro.
the Warriors, man.
I hate the Warriors.
Suns got 10th. I was amazed.
Hey, Warriors fans, you know what we can do that you can't? Turn our water on without having to worry about it.
And on that note,
podcast.
Got him.
Thunderous finale, guys.
Jesus. This guy.
Wow, guys, we went up to 30,000 likes today.